Man. Oh. What the heck is that noise?
It's Mick. I don't think he's yeah.
I thought it was you trying to be funny.
Oh. Hey, I was putting my phone up on this stupid thing right here anyway. And, you know, sometimes your fingers are touching the screen. And I just saw the word sent twice. So I'm like, man, I don't know what I just sent. Hope I didn't send no money to nobody. What'd you say, Eric? Try just like he came out of the Coliseum and won. Ah, were you not entertained? Were you not entertained?
No,
do what? What?
The sound that was playing. The sound.
Yeah, the background
sounded like you won in the Coliseum.
I was like, are you not entertained?
You're not.
They're amazing.
Sorry.
Yeah. Anyhow.
What's going on, my brothers and sisters?
What's up, Amazing, coming in with the slide, early slide. What's up, bro?
What's going on, big brother?
Man, it is going on. I tell you what, I say this all the time and I say it again. If I was doing any better, you couldn't stand it. You hear me?
I know that's right, brother.
Man. Look, man, either have a good day or make it good, man.
I got something I want us to talk about.
Uh-oh, well, I'll tell you, hold on, hold on.
Write it down.
Hold on a second. Hold on, I gotta let you know. We already got, let me see if I can pull it up.
I know the list you got. I already know.
Oh, okay, you want me to add to
agenda.
It? You saying you want me to add to the list?
Add to the list.
All right, hold on. Let me get there. All right, hold up.
Yeah, I might.
All right, let me get this off. Okay, I'm done with that. What is this? We're done with that. Man, I'm gonna have to start writing a pretty list here. Hold on. Okay, we're done with this. And if somebody's here and y'all did not see the live we did yesterday, which we ended up titling Kingdom Watchers, I highly recommend you go watch that. It's an awesome live. Luke 17, John 15, those were like my favorite when I really started digging in. All right, I'm gonna write it down here. All right, so today, if everything goes well, people say if God willing. Let's see, we're gonna do 2 Samuel 20. We're gonna finish that today. And then after that, it should be 2 Samuel. I'm going to write it down better, man. I got it all jacked up. 2 Samuel 21. And then we're going to complete Esther. We're going to complete Esther. And then after that is the upper room. We're going to talk about the upper room. And then Saba's the one that... Saba's already probably done studied that, wrote a book about it by now. Because that was like a week ago. All right, amazing. What you got?
I guess this unlike about dispensationalists. But I want to know about the worlds. How many worlds would you say we have in terms of, and how did they come, and are they all?
Well,
we know all the worlds.
Well, first off, hold on. First off, let me say this. So, I'm not against, nor do I hate dispensationalists, but it becomes an issue when you are an extreme dispensationalist. When you go to the extreme, and you play the card. See, let me show you what extreme dispensationalist does. It makes you a lazy Christian. You're lazy. Everything's God. They don't really have to know nothing. God did it. Why did he did it? I don't know. I don't care. It's in dispensation. Everything's pointed to like dispensations. That's all. They don't have to know nothing, but then yet they act like they know something. They talk about stuff and they act like, oh, well, that's because of this. All of a sudden, when they do know something, it's not God. They only use that when they don't know something. God did it. That's what I've learned with a lot of dispensationalists. Okay, so, but the word dispensation is in the Bible, so there's no refuting. Are there dispensations? They're there. It's evidently clear. But like this extreme dispensationalist idea that everything is based on dispensations only, that I got a problem with that. Yeah.
Okay, let me ask you. So, what got me to looking into it was, I've been looking into the world that was, the world that is, the world to come, the age to the end of the age.
Yeah.
Then I was reading the Genesis again, and I got caught in the study on deep sleep, right? And I fell on Samuel, how Saul called him. Well, God allowed him to come up, right? And so, when it comes to the matter of soul sleep, like when someone unalive, like in those days, when they say they rest with their fathers or whatever, that means they were totally sleep. You know what I'm saying? The dead know not anything. Right, but now in the new dispensation, in the era that we live in now, to be absent from the body is to be present with the Lord. So now, is there such a thing as where Samuel was called up from his sleep? That's not the case now. You know what I'm trying to say?
Well, I mean, you said a lot of things. So you talked about Samuel being called back from his sleep. So you're talking about when Saul went to the sorcerer, right?
Right.
Yeah, and so we've talked about that before, and so the question is, you got to make sure if that was really Saul or not. You got to make sure. That's one, because there's people that dispute whether that was Saul or not. Right? There's people that dispute that.
You mean Samuel?
I'm sorry, Samuel. Yeah. So when Saul went to the medium and was like, "Hey, I need you to bring, the prophet Samuel. I need to bring him back." And then he's talking to Saul. The quote unquote spirit is talking to Saul. So it seems like it really is the prophet. But the question is it really? That's the question, right? So
doggone right, that's him.
Well, I mean, again, it's people debate this. It's a debate. There's people that don't believe it was the prophet. They believe it was a devil lying.
Wow, that's crazy.
Well, I mean, that's just I don't know why it would be crazy, because this lady's a medium. So she's got power to move God's spirits around. I mean, it's a debate. I'm telling you, it's a debate. I've heard the debate. So, but that's one way. That's one thing of that I was going to say. But that's one thing you said, and another thing you said is you were talking about dispensations. What world are we in? So there was like 5 things you brought up. So which one are you wanting to discuss? Because you kind of accumulating all of them in one bag.
Well, I'm just saying, like, before the cross, when a saint went to go and be with the Lord, or they unalived their faith, so to speak, is that soul resting? Is it in a deep sleep?
All right. So the topic is soul. So okay. So the topic is soul sleep. That's the topic.
Yeah, and just like how the operations of God in like present world, like the worlds, I'm seeing like 4 or 5 like different worlds. You know what I'm saying?
What do you mean?
And I know God don't change.
What are you calling? What are you calling 4 or 5 different worlds? Like specifically?
Okay, let's say the underworld, right?
Okay. All right.
Let's say the world above God's kingdom, right? That world.
All right.
And the world we live in now. The world that will be, the new heaven and the new earth. That'll be another world.
Yeah,
right?
You're talking about the worlds the Bible talks about, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
So what I'm saying is, in each one of these worlds, now I believe that the 3 worlds exist simultaneously right now. The underworld, the world we're in now, and the world that is above, where Paul went into the 3rd heaven, right? I believe those worlds exist right now.
Yeah, simultaneously.
But in terms of the operation, the operations of how things happen, like before the cross and after the cross, that's what I'm kind of wanting to look into. Like now, let's say like someone unalives, God forbid, someone unalives to be absent from the body, to be present with the Lord. Now am I to say, Ecclesiastes say, hey, the unalive knows nothing. So how can they know anything? And I know you talked about when Moses and Elijah came in the transfiguration. And it sounds like you were saying that they are active and alive. That's what I think I got out of that.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, they were active and alive because they were there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't see God saying, okay, y'all, good job now. Y'all go back to sleep.
No.
I don't think that would make sense. Yeah. I mean, God can do anything, but I don't know if he'll do that. I don't know.
Yeah, I know what you're saying. Yeah. Yeah, so right, so there's a debate, obviously. Everything has a debate because there's just usually debates happen because somebody is missing something and somebody else has seen it and they're trying to get the other person to see it. But there are debates where a group of people have hit a standstill and they're not sure what else is to happen, right? They're just not sure. They're all kind of on the same page at the same time. Nobody's further than the other. And so they're trying to figure things out. That's true too. But one approach to look at soul sleep, and one day we'll have I guess a deeper conversation. But before we get into, because we're going to get into 2 Samuel 20, soul sleep, like it's kind of like so like, for instance, if you go to sleep, right, like amazing, like let's say you go to sleep right now, because you do it every day. You go to sleep, you sleep 5 to 8 hours. You may not get 8 hours every day, but you need to at least get 5. Trust me, I know what it's like being up 2 days straight on 2 hours of sleep. Oh, it's hard. It's hard on 8 hours of sleep, but I know what it's like on 2. But if you can get 5 to 8 hours, you should be okay for the remainder of the day. But the question would be, if you fell asleep and you sleep for, like I said, 5 to 8 hours, when you wake up, and I've heard people say things like, well, I had a dream, or my soul or my spirit isn't just laying there. It's doing something. Yeah, but that don't matter. We're talking about your body, period. Not talking about your spirit. Your spirit doesn't sleep. Matter of fact, it's elementary to even make someone see a certain view by saying, well, our spirit don't just sit there. It's not, it does stuff like, you should have learned that 10 years ago. Like, obviously, it's not sleeping. The spirit and soul doesn't sleep, but your body does. So that's what I'm talking about. If you fall asleep and you wake up, the body, doesn't know how long exactly it was sleeping. The body doesn't know that. So even if God himself came and hang out with your spirit while you were sleeping, your body still don't know that, period. So what I'm saying is your body, when your body goes to sleep and when it wakes up, it doesn't know how long you was sleeping. So a lot of times you can go to sleep, wake up, and you literally can be honest with yourself and say, man, I just laid down. Like you could, matter of fact, people say it. They're not looking at the fact that they've been sleeping for 8 hours. That's not how it seems. It seems like they literally just laid down, and before they knew it, they were right back up. So amazing. Would you say that's your experience when you sleep and get up?
Sometimes.
Yeah, but that's what I mean, because you understand it though. You understand the concept of you go to sleep and then bam, you're right back up. Like if it was a blink of an eye. Sleep can seem that way. So, but if you were sleeping for 20 years, do you think you would know it was 20 years?
Yeah, absolutely not.
Okay, so that's the point. So while we are still walking this world and people pass away, so somebody name someone in history that's been passed away for a long time. Abraham Lincoln. All right, so somebody find out how long has Abraham Lincoln been unalived? Anybody? How long has Abraham Lincoln been unalive? He said Joe Biden.
Somebody, over 100 years.
Huh?
Over 100 years, I think.
Over 100 years. And I want to see if somebody can get a date.
It says 160 years.
Okay.
It says he passed away on April 15th, 1865.
Okay, so it's been 100 and how many years?
60.
Okay, 160 years. All right. So over 100 years. So for us as people, now none of us has been 100 and none of us are even 100. Okay? But there was someone that was born the next day after he was unalive. Somebody was born. And let's just say that person lived for 80 years. Would you say? For 80 years, they lived their whole life and became unalive, and he's still in the ground, right? Amazing. We tracking?
Yeah, I'm with you.
All right. But this world's not done yet. This world's not done yet. So somebody else was born. When that person that I was talking about that was alive for 80 years, when they were unalive, the next day, somebody was born. And they lived for 80 years. So we can honestly say that Abraham Lincoln has been unalive for 2 generations. True or no? We tracking?
Facts.
All right. And Abraham Lincoln's his body's still in the grave. But if he was to sit up right now and you were to ask him, how long have you been in that grave? I want everybody to be honest. What would he say? Do you think he would guess right?
You say, am I dead? Am I dead?
But I'm saying,
I felt like I just went to sleep.
I'm telling you, if you're honest with yourself, he would probably say, I don't know, an hour?
What are you talking about?
2 hours? If you're honest with yourself, the person's not going to know. They're not, okay? They're going to, like, just like you remembered laying down and coming back, even though he didn't remember laying down, the point I'm saying is he's not going to know. So it's us here. It's us here that remembers that person's in the grave. It's us that remembers that. We remember that. Now watch this. If Jesus was to come right now, boom, and let's just play the whole rapture thing. We're going to play the rapture game. Everybody's raptured. Bam, we're all in heaven. Now tell me, we know that Abraham Lincoln was in the grave for 160 years. How long did it take Abraham Lincoln for his eyes to close and open back up?
Blink of an eye.
A blink of an eye. It's that simple. It's that simple. To us, he's in there all these years. To us. But when Abraham Lincoln's, when he passed, he was before the Father. But to us, he's still in the ground. It hasn't happened yet. So think on that one for a little bit, because that's what it's referring to when it says in a blink of an eye. In a blink of an eye, you are going to be before him, but he's not before him right now. He's not. It seems that way, but he's not. But as soon as you're unalive, the reason that we're right before the Father is because, I'm just going to say the rapture, just everybody understands, because the rapture happened. That's why.
Okay, so not to go on nobody else's time. So would you say, when you look at Luke 16, right?
Yeah.
Talking about Lazarus and the rich man, is that talking about what will be? I know some people say it was a parable. I believe it was a real story.
Well, okay, all right. So
is that saying, like, when? Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
What I'm asking is Jesus telling a story to say, hey, this is what it will be like, or this is how it is? I think it's saying the same thing, but some people say, hey, the rich man is in hell right now asking for Lazarus to come and cool his tongue. That's not the case.
No, so Jesus, okay, number one, right? So we start at the first level and we just go deeper. But the first superficial understanding of that is Jesus is telling the scribes and the Pharisee, you're this rich man. That's what he's doing. That's the first outer onion peel layer. Jesus is telling the scribes and the Pharisee, you're this rich man right here. Because a rich man, just like the scriptures say in the Proverbs, it says a poor man does much praying. It says, but a rich man pretty much demands what is his. But when Jesus was talking about, when he was doing the Beatitudes and he said, blessed are the poor, blessed are the meek, he's talking about people in the soul that know that they need help, that they know they need a physician. Jesus told the scribes and the Pharisees, a physician, Jesus would just tell them straight up, I'm the doctor and I'm only here for people who know they're sick. And he's telling them, but you don't think you're sick, so I'm not here for you. That's what he's telling them. So the Pharisees don't think they need a healing. They don't think anything's wrong. They don't need a doctor. They're just fine. That's what he's telling the scribes and the Pharisees. That whole parable was specifically to tell the scribes and the Pharisees, that's you. So to exegete scripture for the kindergartners, which should be evidently clear what this story is talking about. Jesus is telling the scribe and the Pharisees, hey, look, that's you right there, the rich man. Okay? But this is God here. Okay? Where do you think, what do you say, Jan Jr.? He's telling Israel, of course, he's telling all people this. But the scribe and the Pharisees are the ones that are claiming there's nothing wrong with them. They're just fine. So there's no message that Jesus says that can't relate to anybody. It can relate to everybody. But where do you think that people with money, where do you think, like, if you pay attention, like, for instance, everybody's seen the movie Rocky?
Yeah.
What'd you say, Jan? At this time, Gentiles was without Christ. Yes. Yes, that's the elementary part is Jesus is here with the Jews and he sends Paul to the Gentiles. Right, Jan Jr.? Paul the apostle was sent to the Gentiles by Jesus. Jan Jr.? Jan Jr. Was Paul sent to the Gentiles by Jesus? Okay, for me not to get sidetracked, Brenda, I need you to take notes, and then that way you can remind me in 2-3 minutes where I was. With the message of revelation of the mystery, I don't know, was that a yes or a no? I'm not sure. Just give me a yes or no, Jan. Was Paul sent to the Gentiles by Jesus? I kind of just need a yes or a no, because I don't know. I don't know if you know that or not. I don't know. Maybe you don't. Oh, no, Brendan, don't say no. Get your pen out. Get your pen out. You can be paying attention like that. Well, all right. But where do you anybody seen? Everybody should have seen the movie Rocky. Has everybody seen that?
Sir.
Troy, thank you. Appreciate that. Troy ain't messing around. Troy, you don't have to become teal. Let me use that word. You don't have to become teal every day, bro. You know that, right? I want you to know that. You don't have to become teal every day. All right. Let's see. All right, Jan, you're good. Don't worry about it. You didn't give me a yes or no. Just don't worry about it. All right. So I'm assuming most people know what Rocky is, and do y'all remember Rocky's friend that trained him to fight the Russian? Does anybody remember his name? Please tell me at least one. Please.
Apollo, man.
Oh, thank you, sir. Thank you.
I had to wrestle that joke.
You had to wrestle him. Yeah. So.
Yeah, man. When I wrestled, man, I had.
Oh, you had to wrestle him in real life, the Apollo Creed guy.
Yeah. Wasn't like him, his son or his great nephew.
Yeah. Well, anyhow, if y'all remember Apollo, he came out to fight Rocky. You don't remember that, like this big scene he made? You don't see that big scene he made coming out? He's fighting the Russian. Got this, oh, that's Russian. All right. And he's all American boy. He's coming out of there and he's about to give it to the Russian. But he made this big, extravagant scene. When you see him, you should be able to see multiple things that he's saying at one time. Not only is he saying, I'm going to beat you, he's pointing to, he's got a flag. He's fighting for a country. He does multiple things in there. He says multiple things without saying one word. Listen, when he was standing up there, did he have to say, I'm Apollo Creed? No, he didn't have to say that. His picture was there. He was there, him. Did he have to say, I'm an American? Did he have to say it with his mouth? No, it was there. The symbolism was there. On and on, we see humans do this. That intro. Yeah, right. That was his intro. But we see this on and on in the world. Where do you think the behavior of that comes from? Even though people are fallen, we still, the traits are still there. Those things are still, it's just that we use them for ourselves. Like Apollo Creed, he's using it for himself. Look, I'm an American and I'm going to beat that Russian. And, but it's the fallen. It's the fallen. Yeah. Well, it's ego because the way we do it, like again, the way Apollo is doing it, it's ego, it's pride. We all understand it. At some form or fashion, we've all used it or we've clapped our hands for somebody doing it. The music awards, there's a lot of symbolism and stuff like that in there. I mean, it's everywhere where people are saying things, but they're not using words to say it. This is not a new concept. It's been here ever since humans have been here. And it's funny to me that people think that man created symbolism. Man did not create that, my friend. God himself created symbolism. He did. He's the mastermind. We are the corruptors of that mind. We have corrupted how we are supposed to imagine something and bring it to pass. We have corrupted that. We imagine things, and I'm talking about as human society, and our imagination is because we worship ourselves. We want this to be great. But this, whatever this is, it's all about them. So it boggles my mind that when people read the Bible, and especially people who claim that they know that Jesus is God, and he tells a parable about a rich man and Lazarus, and they can't see any further than the tip of their nose. It is so embarrassing, and I'm not even playing. It's very embarrassing that you think that the only thing Jesus is showing is, hey, scribe and the Pharisees, you see how clever my little story is? That's you, the rich man. A kindergartner could create such a parable. Such an easy parable. But let me tell you what a kindergartner, and I'm talking about a baby in Christ kindergartner, okay? But let me tell you what a baby in Christ cannot do, because they don't read the Bible fully. And when I say read, I'm talking about study and fully understand what they're reading. This man, Jesus, was God himself in the Old Testament. It wasn't hard for him to put this parable. He wrote the whole book. He knew who Eleazar was, the oldest servant of Abraham, which is Lazarus here. Okay, this is the Hebrew for Lazarus. He knew who that was. He knew who Abraham was. He knew that these people are pretty much worshiping Abraham and Moses. He already knew this because he knows what the flesh He already knows this because he knows what the flesh is going to do. So when he tells this story, because it's God himself, it's like he has an intro of himself. And I can't believe that more people can't see this. Every time he tells a parable, he introduces himself. Every time. And it is sad that it's 2025 and the quote unquote people, all these people that's been alive in this world that claim they love God so much, but yet they can't see and hear the intro music of him. In every parable that he tells, he introduces himself while he's talking to the carnally minded at the same time. So he doesn't speak only for the carnal minded. He speaks so everybody can hear, but it's up to you what you hear. It's up to you because all the options are there. So when the voice spoke from heaven and people said, oh, it was just thunder. Another said, I think angels just spoke. And another said something else. None of them heard it the same way. And when that trumpet blast, those that have ears to hear, my friend, you're not going to hear the trumpet. This is so crazy to me. We all really think we're going to hear like, that's not what you're going to hear. But a trumpet is going to blow, which is the voice of God. He is going to speak. And let me tell you, it'll be a sad day if you get scared and grab your ears and go, oh my God, what is that? While I'm running to it. And you're, oh, what's that noise? Oh man, doomsday. Oh man, it's the end, guys. It's the end. You ain't being a proper watcher, are you? You're not being a proper watcher. So not only is he telling the scribes and the Pharisees, you're this guy, someone that is trying to figure out what the good ground is in the entire Bible, he puts it in Abraham's bosom. That's why there's water there. That's why he said, dip your finger in water and put it on my tongue. He starts helping you understand what Timothy is writing about the tongue. He puts that in there. Everything is orchestrated perfectly for anybody that is studying a very specific topic. He helps them get to the next step. He talks about the tongue. He talks about the great divide. He said there is a gulf between us, and those that are over here can't get over here. He is referring to a place of damnation and to the good place, to paradise. But the reason that he's having them talk is because it's a parable. That's why, because it's a parable, he's having them talk. Because he's trying to use that to explain you can't get over here and we can't get over there. He's using that to explain that. That doesn't mean when it happens, the people in hell can see those in paradise and the people in paradise can see those in hell. No, that is not what he's showing. He's showing the great divide, the great gulf between. That's what he's showing. That is as far as the east is from the west. He's going to remove your tears, remove your sin as far as the east is from the west. That was the east and the west. That's what that was that you were seeing. The east and the west. The only reason that the rich man was able to talk to Abraham is because it was a parable, not because that's how it's going to be. That's not how it's going to be. People are not going to be talking to people in heaven, and people in heaven are going to be talking to people in hell. No, it's not going to be like that. Not even a little bit. But not only is he showing the scribes who they are, he puts Abraham and Eleazar together in paradise, the servant. He puts the rich man in hell, and he shows that everything that he's asking for, he goes, hey, can you send Lazarus to cool my tongue? The answer is no. So he's showing you in this place of torment, there is no living water to give anymore. That's another thing that he's showing. There is no living water to give. He says, okay, well, can you send Lazarus to my family? And he's like, no. And again, he doesn't say no, but he says, even if one resurrects, they won't believe. Talking about himself. Don't you understand? He's Lazarus. This is not about Abraham's servant anymore. He's saying, I'm here. Who was Abraham's servant? I'm here now. And he's saying, even if one, and then he points to the thing that he always says to the scribes and the Pharisees, they have Moses and the prophets. He's saying, as soon as scripture was written down, Jesus introduced himself throughout Moses and the prophets, and none of you have seen me. Can you imagine? Can you really imagine the day? And I'm not kidding. I'm being serious. Can you imagine the day that Saul of Tarsus, right? He got descaled. He gets sent. Not sent. I'm sorry. He didn't get sent. He was trying to send himself, and he went to hire nonchalance to send him or give him permission to go persecute Christians even more. That day, this thing happens. Short period of time passes. Ananias comes. He becomes descaled. He goes to the desert for years to chew on the cud, to meditate over the word. Lazarus means Eleazar. That's what it means. The word. If you go look up the name Lazarus, that is the Greek word for Eleazar. Eleazar is Abraham's oldest servant. So that's why Jesus put Abraham and Lazarus as a servant together. That's the reason. And it's because Lazarus is representing Jesus, the servant of Abraham. That's why Jesus is making these people, Abraham, somebody look up Eleazar for the word. He wants to know what the name means.
It means God's help.
Yeah, God's help. That's what it means. Because Jesus is God's help. Did you get that? The word? Oh, let me see. Oh, absolutely. You're welcome, man. Hey, again, I think we all appreciate the fact that you're a man of your word. I appreciate that you coming back and throwing the coins back in the mix over here. I know you ain't looking for a pat on the back, but I like to give credit where credit is due, and I don't care how many people's in here. I still appreciate. I don't care if it was a nickel. It doesn't matter. I appreciate you coming back and throwing that back in the mix. Thank you, sir. So that means the word, you got the rest of the year free ride. You can come up here and stir up a mess, and we're just going to be nice to you. But next year we're going to get you. Don't come in here crazy next year. But this year you got it, sir. We're going to leave you alone. You can come in here acting crazy all you want. All right, let's see.
I don't think I've ever heard him acting crazy.
No, that's why I said it. No, that's why I said it. I don't remember him ever being disrespectful. Right. Yeah. He's probably like, well, I don't know if I want to start doing that today. Yeah. I couldn't say that to somebody like a Christian or Breezy or Dre, but they'll take it. I'm just kidding. Oh, let me say this real quick. So I finally saw, hey, you know what, guys? I'm being dead serious. Christian's new name is Canelo. I'm just going to let y'all know that right now. He's Canelo. That's it. That's his new name until I change it. Christian's new name is Canelo. Just letting y'all know that right now. I'm done and logging off. Hold on, I think I'm saying the right name. Dre, what's the name of that boxer? It means cinnamon.
That's Canelo.
Okay, yeah, Canelo.
Lord.
That's Christian from here on out. That's Christian. He's short like him too.
Why?
I don't know if he's short. He might be tall dude, but he's Canelo, 100%.
Why you calling him Canelo though?
I when I figure out how to explain it, I will. Just Dre, just understand this. This mastermind, it usually is pointing to something. So just know that when I explain fully why I'm saying that.
You're vexing my flesh again.
I know, bro.
I just got over it. Now you're trying to vex it again.
I'm sorry. What I'm saying is just know, oh, Lord, what does this guy got up his sleeve? Like, there's a reason that he would call this dude Canelo. And there is a reason. It's going to be freaking hilarious. All right. But I will add, well, no, I can't add that. That's cool. Let's see. Everybody on, guys, please don't forget to go visit YouTube. We're live right now on YouTube. I'm begging you, please. It's clear, bro. Everybody likes the smaller app. Man, I'm down with it. I get it. Please go visit the YouTube channel. Push descaled content out more and more. And I tell you, we're getting more followers. They're just coming in slowly. I will say this on YouTube. It's like we get, I want to say we probably get 2 or 3 new followers a week. And I've been looking at the statistics. So we'll say an average of 10 a month on YouTube. And some months, like matter of fact, last month we got 30, but that was kind of rare. Usually it's around 10. And out of those 10, only half of them come back and actually visit the live. So, it is what it is. I don't know how long each one of them, but I can kind of tell at least half come back. So if you haven't went to YouTube, at Descaled Live, that's what it is at the YouTube, channel at Descaled Live. Please go over there, make some comments. Alex, thank you for coming. Let's see. Jude, I see you. Mike, I think y'all are already in here. I need some other guys. Guys, if you're on TikTok, please go over there, make some comments, go like it. And don't just stay there for 30 seconds, guys. Come on, be there for 5 to 10 minutes. Come back to the TikTok world of what is it called? What's that? The Twilight Zone, bro. Come back to the Twilight Zone. For some reason, nobody wants to stay in the light of YouTube, man. They want to go to the dark side. All right. Let me get back to what I was saying. I'm sorry. I just had to do a few things and I was monologuing. But yeah, so there's so much going on with God himself making this parable. Even though it's a parable, so Abraham and Lazarus, they're real people, but they're no longer alive on the earth. But they're real people. So when Amazing was saying, I think those are real people, they were. Abraham and Lazarus, or Eleazar, 100%, they were people who walked the earth, but they're no longer walking the earth. But the reason that Jesus is using them is because that's who the scribes and the Pharisees look up to. They look up to him. But Jesus is trying to also show whoever is listening, he's trying to show who Lazarus is. He's trying to show who he is. He's trying to show that Abraham's bosom is a place that Lazarus is at. And Lazarus, he said, tell him to dip his finger. I don't know if y'all have listened when we went over God's finger. If not, you need to go check it out. Go to the lives, they're recorded, and they are titled God's Finger. That's what they're titled. If you have not checked that out, you need to. I'm telling you, the truth is in the pudding. It's there. When Jesus writes on the ground, people say, we don't know what he wrote. If you study the Bible enough, for God's sakes, you have a very good idea. You may not be able to put punctuation or capital letters in what he's saying, but you pretty much have a good idea. Hold on a second. Oh.
Well, what did he write? I know I came in here and disrupted the whole service again. Y'all forgive me.
No, you good, brother. No, it's pretty good. It's pretty good. Oh man,
What?
it was.
Speak
Do y'all
on.
remember?
Hmm?
I said, y'all remember what he wrote on the ground?
Let he who has no, oh goodness, he with no sin cast the first stone. Something. Is that what you're talking about, Brazen?
Yeah, it's a little bit deeper than that. I
Well,
remember
he
what he wrote.
was
'Cause I
writing
remember.
on. I know that the temples, the flooring was stone. Like, it could have been something like, oh goodness, it does. This is something I did look into. There was a particular type of stone that they had, but I see that as the finger of God writing the law on the stone.
Mhm.
All right, that's how I see it.
Yeah, he definitely on the right track. For the
Well,
anybody up here know the answer? I want to say it, but I don't want to mess up nobody
Nah.
study. Should I say it?
No, I think you should leave it.
Yeah, I'll leave it. But it's good.
well, there is a reference. I don't know if that's it though, but I think Jeremiah 17 speaks about him writing in the earth,
Oh
right?
yeah,
What
yeah. I
what
think
what covers a multitude of sins? Amazing.
The love of God.
Oh,
yeah.
So, do you think that's what he wrote in the earth?
Absolutely. Not only did he write it,
Really?
he brought it.
Well, that's what I'm saying. So, being that he is the epitome of it, he gave us the example flawlessly. And they still came against the love of God. What is it that would cause them to like drop their stones, even in the midst of the fact that he is love? Are you saying that's what he wrote? Love?
that's what I think.
His law was love.
Yeah.
His law was 100% love. How to love people. But the thing is, the carnal mind takes it as something that it can fulfill. But the spirit says, nah, man, no man can fulfill this love that I have. That's why he had to come.
If you think about it, did they really have to bring that woman in front of Jesus for Jesus to know that she had did that?
Absolutely not.
Absolutely not.
No, he knew it. But why didn't he condemn her?
Well, for one, we know he said even himself that he did not come to judge, but to save and to heal.
And the reason he came to save was because John 3:16.
So love the world.
Yeah. We gave y'all the straightforward answer. I wasn't gonna do it, but y'all should go look at that. Go check out that because the way it goes into depth and breaks it down. I mean, it's irrefutable and beautiful. You know.
So, what would you say, Jeremiah 17 and it's somewhere over there, 8, 6? You got your Bible?
Yeah, Jeremiah 17. Let me see.
9.
9 says the heart is deceitful above all things and desperately
No,
wicked.
go to 11 or something like that. It said he will write their names in the earth who has forgotten their God. Somewhere in there.
Oh, right here, 13. O Lord, the hope of Israel, all that forsake thee shall be ashamed, and they that depart from me shall be written in the earth, because they have forsaken the Lord, the fountain of living waters. Mm-hmm. That's crazy. It says ashamed here. Going back to the garden, they were naked and ashamed. It's funny that they were already naked before, but wasn't
Yeah.
ashamed.
So that's why I'm saying, like, I believe they took on a great heaviness of shame and guilt. Now, if love is what causes love, because love overcomes what? Death.
Yeah, a multitude of
Uh,
sins.
yeah, and evil. Love overcomes it all. It fulfills the law of Christ, right? So yeah, I don't have a problem with that. I was just trying to see how that could correlate, though. Jeremiah 17 and 13, being that it did say he would right in the earth. I don't
And
know if
so
that have a correlation.
I don't know if you're reading the chat, but the finger of God on YouTube goes into this in depth.
Yeah, on the D-Scale Live page, if it's titled "The Finger of God." I think I may be wrong. Is it like it might be 2 parts? Uh, but
I'm sure.
yeah, it's pretty good. And I think he
Yeah,
went
I'll go
into
check
this
that
one
out.
time. Yeah, he went into it another time too on one of the. I think Jesus's faith. I think he went into it
I gotta
there
step
too.
away from the phone for a minute, but I'm still on here.
Okay.
Just real quickly, if everyone, we have 50 people in here in TikTok. If y'all could just tap the screen a couple of times for about maybe 2 minutes so we can get those likes up, and it helps push the live out also. So God bless.
What's up, Hulk and Benny?
Oh, Benny, giving grace. God bless y'all. Good to see y'all. a related to that Nero talk we was talking about yesterday, during that time period, Sister Jennifer, the Roman Colosseums. I was looking it up and check this out. It says the Roman Colosseum hosted a variety of spectacles, including gladiatorial combats, animal hunts, uh, executions, even mock naval battles. These events were designed to entertain the Roman populace and were a significant part of Roman life. So Christians were there, but they were unalive.
Yeah, they were the bait.
Yeah, it says criminals, prisoners, and sometimes even Christians were subject to gruesome unalivements, often involving wild animals or public displays of cruelty.
Yeah,
And what's even more crazy about it is I don't know why I said that. I know Troy said he wanted. Good morning, brother Sando. Yeah, I know Charles said he wanted to touch on that a little bit.
Yeah, it's interesting because they would send them out there to be mauled by lions.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm. What's even more crazier is the gladiator battles that they had there. If you were a gladiator and you came out on top, you won, they would look at you with a high social status. Like after you were a victor, you would like claim a high social status, like among the top people, top social class. They were looked at with respect. That's sort of how we look at, people who are honorably discharged from the military.
It's exactly like that.
Mm-hmm.
100%.
I'm gonna have to check that out. The Fox's Book of Martyrs. Yeah, I'm gonna have to check that out. So quiet in here today. Yeah, I missed yesterday though. I'm gonna have to go check it out on YouTube. I was in here briefly for a little bit, in and out.
We were going to do 2 Samuel, what? Where?
20 and 21. The rest of 21. And then tomorrow we're gonna be looking at Esther, I believe. And then once we're done with that, we're gonna be looking into the upper room. So got some things to look into. It's gonna be a good week.
We could always read 2 Samuel. It's 26 verses. We could split it up.
Go for it, sis. I got this. I don't know if y'all hear the mower. My son's cutting my yard for me.
All right, I can read 1 to 13. Someone want to read 13 to 26?
What's the address?
2 Samuel 20.
I can read.
You want to get 1 to 13 or 13 26?
I'll do 1 to 13.
Okay.
2 Samuel chapter 20. And there happened to be there a man of Belial, whose name was Sheba, the son of Bichri, a Benjamite, and he blew a trumpet and said, we have no part in David, neither have we inheritance in the son of Jesse. Every man to his tent, O Israel. So every man of Israel went up from after David and followed Sheba, the son of Bichri. But the men of Judah clave unto their king from Jordan even to Jerusalem. And David came to his house at Jerusalem, and the king took the 10 women, his concubines, who he had left to keep the house, and put them in ward and fed them, but went not in unto them. So they were shut up unto the day for their death. Shut up unto the day of their death, living in widowhood. Then said the king to Amasa, assemble me the men of Judah within 3 days, and be thou here present. So Amasa went to assemble the men of Judah, but he tarried longer than the set time which he had appointed them. And David said to Abishai, now shall Sheba the son of Bichri do us more harm than did Absalom. Take thou thy Lord's servant and pursue after him, lest he get him fenced city and escape us. And there went out after him Joab's men and the Cherethites and the Pelethites and all the mighty men, and they went out of Jerusalem to pursue after Sheba the son of Bichri. When they were at the great stone which is in Gibeon, Amasa went before them, and Joab's garment that he had put on was girded unto him, and upon it a girdle with a sword fastened upon his loins, in the sheath thereof. And as he went forth, it fell out. And Joab said to Amasa, art thou in health, my brother? And Joab took Amasa by the beard with the right hand to kiss him. But Amasa took heed to his sword ground, and struck him not again, and he died. So Joab and Abishai his brother pursued after Sheba the son of Bichri, and one of Joab's men stood by him, and said, he that favoreth Joab, and he that is for David, let him go after Joab. And Amasa wallowed in blood in the midst of the highway. And when the man saw that all the people stood, he removed Amasa out of the highway into the field, and cast a cloth upon him. When he saw that every one that came by him stood. Next.
All right, we all reading?
All right, chat, you want me to keep reading?
Where y'all at?
We're reading 2 Samuel 20.
What verse y'all on right
2
now?
Samuel 20. 14.
Yeah, go ahead, continue.
All right. And he went through all the tribes of Israel unto Abel and to Beth-maachah and all the Bererites, and they were gathered together and went also after him. And they came and besieged him, Abel of Beth-maach, and they cast up a bank against the city, and it stood in the trench. And all the people that were with Joab battered the wall to throw it down. Then cried a wise woman out of the city, Hear, hear, say I pray you, unto Joab, Come near hither, that I may speak with thee. And when he was come near unto the woman said, Art thou Joab? And he answered, I am he. Then she said unto him, Hear the words of thine handmaid. And he answered, I do hear. Then she spake, saying, They were wont to speak in old time, saying, They shall surely ask counsel at Abel. And so they ended the matter. I am the one of them that are peaceable and faithful in Israel. Thou seekest to destroy a city and a mother in Israel. Why will you swallow up the inheritance of the Lord? And Joab answered and said, Far be it from me, that I should swallow up or destroy. The matter is not so, but a man of Mount Ephraim, Sheba, the son of Bichri, by name, hath lifted up his hand against the king, even against David. Deliver him only, and I will depart from the city. And the woman said unto Joab, Behold, his head shall be thrown to thee over the wall. Then the woman went unto all the people in her wisdom, and they cut off the head of Sheba, the son of Bichri, and cast it out to Joab. And he blew a trumpet, and they retired from the city, every man to his tent. And Joab returned to Jerusalem unto the king. Now Joab was over all the hosts of Israel, and Benaiah, the son of Joiada, was over the Cherethites, and over the Pelethites. And Adoram was over the tribute, and Josaphat, the son of Ahilud, was recorder, and Sheva was scribe, and Zodok and Abithar were the priests, and Ira also the Jerarite was a chief ruler about David.
Amen.
All right, so somebody's gonna have to help remind me where the heck we were in 2 Samuel 20, because y'all brought 2 Samuel 21, 18, 19, 12, Genesis 1 through 8. I'm lost. Where are we at?
I think that we had went through I think we were on verse 3. I think we barely got into it.
We barely got into it, and y'all brought 2 Samuel 21. What else did y'all bring to me? Luke 7.
I think we definitely got to the part where... No, we got past the part where he spoke to the woman.
All right, so give me the verse. Give me the verse. You weren't? I could have swore you were here, bro.
Because I don't remember try hitting on the... Did you hit the fifth rib and all that?
All right, hold on. Let's do this again. I need to find out. Nina's over here saying that she thinks we're somewhere. So I'm trying to find out what verse does Nina think we're at. And then from there we can debate, argue, kick each other in the head, whatever. So, oh, shoot. All right, so where are we at? Or Nina, where do you think we're at?
I'm looking. Yeah, I'm looking. Hold
Come on, she ain't the only one that was here. And you know what's funny? I had it written down exactly where we were at. I know I wrote it down. Okay, no, that's 21.
We went through the house of the cock.
Go ahead.
Yeah, we got halfway through 21. I remember. Go ahead,
Well,
Nina. Sorry.
no, hold on a second. Let me just
No,
say
no,
this.
no.
Hold on a second. Hold on a
saying-
second. Am I lagging?
No.
I think I am. All right. 2 Samuel 21:9. I know we got to 9 on 21, but 2 Samuel 20, I'm looking, dude. I know I wrote something down. I must have erased it. Because 21, which one did y'all bring first to me? Did you bring, I think y'all brought 2 Samuel 21 first, and then y'all brought 20. Yeah, y'all went backwards.
Yes.
Okay, so that's the problem. I'm sorry. I apologize. Look, all right. I apologize. We're doing 2 Samuel 21 today, okay? I want to do the one that y'all brought first.
Okay.
Y'all brought 21 first. I'm not sure why. Unless, you know what? Okay, hold on a second. It doesn't matter because 20 comes before 21, so let's just do 20.
Because the first shall be last. And the
No,
last
that's
shall be
not
first.
wise because 20 comes before 21. But for whatever reason, y'all brought 21 up first, and then we got to 9 or 10, and then y'all brought up 20. And now I remember. I go, okay, hold on. I said I wanted to finish 21, but now it's not going to make sense. Now y'all want to talk about 20. So just give me a second. Let's do 20. Let's see.
I remember us being at 2021, if you want to look there.
Okay, hold on. 2021? The matter is not so, but a man of Ephraim. Okay, hold on. Let me go to. She spake, we won't speak in old times, saying they are surely counsel able. Okay, guys, does anybody remember where we were? I'm telling you, I'm being honest. I don't recall. So.
Yeah. We were in verse 9
Okay, well, I wrote down.
and 21.
Okay, I wrote down. Well, yeah, I know, but we're going to do 20 is what I'm saying. We're going to do 20. Lagging, starting to lag now. Oh, great. Hold on.
I don't remember him talking about this wise woman. Anybody that was here?
No, because I don't even remember him hitting the fifth rib or even
He talked about the rib. That I do remember.
Right, and I swear we talked about the head being thrown over. And
what day was this? I'm about to go back to the YouTube.
I remember Benny saying something about the head, but not Trot.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I remember we read through it.
Yeah, we've done this several times too. Several.
Maybe that's what it is. Because of course, I remember Benny talking about it, but I swear we talked about it too, and we talked about like the head representing the flesh, the carnal. I don't know.
Y'all remember what day that was?
No, that you got me on that one.
I'm gonna just be honest. I don't know where either of that is.
Brother Benny, you here? You might be working. Man. What about y'all in the comments, man? Help me out. I may have missed it. I only missed yesterday.
Well, this was last week, right?
Yeah, I remember reading all through 20. We read all the way through it, but we didn't break it down.
I think if you look at Friday's live, all the way at the end, I think he lists out what we're supposed to go through this week.
Friday, that was 5 days ago.
So maybe Thursday might have been when we talked about it.
Thursday, well, it was Thursday because Friday we went through 1 Kings 13. Remember with Dre?
Mm-hmm.
Let's see.
All right, y'all figure it out or what? No?
No.
Looking through the live right now on Thursday to see where we left off.
Oh, God, that's going to take forever.
I could have sworn we talked about the fifth rib and the head going over the wall and the wise woman.
Well, I'm sure you remember that because y'all talked about it before we did the live. So y'all talked about it. That's why you got it. Huh?
No, but I remember you talking about it.
Well,
I could be wrong.
I've talked about.
You talk a lot.
You talk a lot. You talk too much. All right. So let's just go back to.
So much your voice is in my head all the time. That's how much I hear you talking.
She's like, I'm tired of it. All right. So we'll just start.
On Thursday, you was doing 21.
No, I know that. Okay, but so I'm gonna say, just look at this thing right here. Y'all brought Samuel. 2 Samuel 21 was the first thing y'all brought. Okay, and then the next day, I think, if it wasn't the next day, it was 2 days later. Y'all brought Samuel 20, and now I remember saying, okay, let's just do 20 and then we'll finish 21. But then, of course, y'all can't help yourselves. Instead of just doing personal studies and coming back to Samuel, y'all are like, hey, let's go over Luke 17. I'm like, oh, my gosh. So, look, when y'all are doing y'all's personal studies, take notes, whatever, and then we'll go over them. After we're done with the last, oh man, I was hoping I had my note right there, but it doesn't say anything. Yeah, so I remember trumpet, useful, Sheba, 20. All right, so, all right. Oh, wait a minute. What is this? All right, where does it say that? Does this Sheba blew the trumpet? Where's that at? That's probably like at the beginning.
Yeah, the beginning.
Yeah. All right. So we'll just start going over 20, man. We'll just leave it at that. All right, so it says in there, so this is 2 Samuel 20. So we're going to do 20. We'll try to get 20 out of the way today. And we'll do 21 tomorrow. Unless we get to 21. All right, it says, and there happened to be there a man of Belial, whose name was Sheba, son of Bichri, a Benjamite. And he blew a trumpet and said, we have no part in David, neither have we inheritance in the son of Jesse, every man to his tents, O Israel. All right, what's funny about that we have no inheritance with David, if you don't have any inheritance with David, and for us, we understand that that's pointing to Jesus. You know how the Bible says that flesh and blood will not inherit the kingdom of heaven?
Right.
So the rod that came from Jesse, right? A branch of Jesse, which is David, the branch. Jesus is that rod that came from that branch. So if someone says we have no inheritance with you, to everyone to his tent, it's like, guys, let's go pray. Let's go meditate on this. We don't have no inheritance through. That is what the Jews did. That's what they did. They literally were like, no, our inheritance is not through you. It's through Abraham. just to be clear. But it's funny because it says, and he blew a trumpet and said, we have no part in David. What does that mean? He blew a trumpet. I go over this all the time. What does trumpet represent? Rod has a meaning. The mountains have meaning. Leaves. What does a trumpet represent?
Gospel.
Well, it can, but it also represents remember, there's two trumpets. It's two.
Fear.
Huh?
I said fear.
Yeah, so trumpets always point to like the will of God. which is the voice of God or the word of God. So it's either, Eric. So you have the trumpet of redemption and you have the trumpet of judgment. Okay. But again, it's the two wills, right? So if you have the will of God on the inside of you, it's only because you heard the trumpet and you believe the trumpet. And by faith, the trumpet is the gospel. But there's another trumpet that blows. There's another one, and he's blowing it right here. It says Sheba, and look, and so what did the trumpet say? So they're like, no, the trumpet's something else. And then he said it. Yeah, bro, but it's talking about the will. That's what the trumpet is. So in real life, did he pick up a trumpet and blow it? Yes. But his meaning behind his trumpet was not good news. So when because it's a news, it's either good news or bad news.
That's what I was going to ask you. So a trumpet can resemble either good news or bad news.
Yeah,
but in general, it's news.
It's news. It's like, hear he, trumpet, right? If you remember back in the day, when they used to have like jousting, when that was a big thing, maybe in the 1700s, I don't know the exact year. But before they announced the jouster, they would blow a trumpet, or someone would just start screaming to announce them. That would still be considered the trumpet. You know, they'd say, dur, 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 hear he, right? The trumpet, like everyone pay attention. So it says, we have no part in David, neither have we inheritance in the son of Jesse, every man to his tents, O Israel. And 2, it says, so every man of Israel went up from after David and followed Sheba, the son of Bichri. But the men of Judah clave unto their king from Jordan, even to Jerusalem. And David came to his house at Jerusalem. And the king took the 10 women, his concubines, whom he had left to keep the house, and put them inward and fed them, but went not in unto them. So they were shut up unto the day of their death, living in widowhood. Then said the king of Amasa, assemble the men of Judah within 3 days, and be thou here present. So Amasa, now who's Amasa? Does anybody remember who that is? Oh, y'all gonna
He like the captain of the army, or let me see.
Oh, I didn't even know.
Yeah, he's the general of the army.
Okay, he's a general of what army?
Of David. Or of Absalom.
Where? No, hold on. We need to make sure. We're just throwing stuff out there. Where's the verse? Show me a verse that proves who Amasa is. Guys, y'all got to remember, it's just not us three hanging out. There's freaking 60, 70 people listening. So,
Yeah.
You don't just read and just keep reading. At some point, you have to break down who is who, okay? Because, people have to start building confidence, like how to at least in some way, like, study the Bible. And so sometimes they just need someone to show them. So, we don't just keep reading and then throw the names out there. Like, exegy in scripture is still important. The black letters on the white page is still important. It plays a role because you have to know who's who so you can discern what's happening in the story. So who's Amasa? Show me a verse. Like, don't just throw out what he is. Prove it.
Amasa. So in second Samuel in chapter 17, verse 25.
All right, hold on. Say it again. Where are we at? Hold on. Where are we at?
Made it. 2 Samuel chapter 17, verse 25.
All right, read it.
And Absalom made Amasa captain of the host instead of Joab, which Amasa was man's son, whose name was Ithra, an Israelite. They went to Abigail, the daughter of Nasha, sister of Zeruiah, and Joab's mother.
Okay, so Amasa.
So he was captain of
He was captain of what?
Of David's army instead of Joab.
Are you sure? Because it said Absalom made Amasa captain. Who's Absalom? You see what we got to do? So who's Absalom?
I got that wrong in mine.
Okay, so it says.
Yeah, I see.
All right, so again, I need someone to help out. Okay, I'm not doing this by myself. So who is Amasa? I need someone to prove it. And our what, Jennifer?
Okay, so Amasa is David's nephew, Abigail's son. Absalom was David's oldest son.
Okay, but when Amasa was made captain, he's captain over what? That's the question. What is Amasa captain over? It says Absalom made Amasa captain. A captain over what? Prove it with scripture. And I'm just throwing this out there. The subscription goal was met twice today, so which is awesome. So whoever is subscribing to the channel, or if you're giving or buying subscriptions to other people, I definitely just want to say thank you for that 100%. So obviously I'm always going to throw that out there. So all right, come on. I don't care if you got to.
Oh yeah, I googled it.
It's 1725, and it says, and Absalom made Amasa captain of the host instead of Joab, which Amasa was a man's son whose name was Ethra, an Israelite that went into Abigail, the daughter of Nabash, sister of Zeruiah, Joab's mother.
All right.
Yeah,
hold on a second.
I googled
hold on a second. Hold on. Sando, did you hear the question?
Said what was captain? Oh, never mind. That didn't say what was captain of. My bad.
Yeah, no, you're good. I just want to make sure we're focused. My question is, we know that Amasa was captain. Okay. I know that. I know who he was captain of. But what I don't like is nobody else knows who he's captain of, but yet we're going to keep reading. That's why I was saying you need to slow down. You don't just keep reading. Let me say something. Look, guys, y'all are trying to get deeper and like trying to understand like these allegorical truths, but for some reason it's like you don't care. Like you don't care who's who or what. I'm telling you right now, it matters. It 100% matters to know who is who. And Amasa was captain, okay, whatever, but he saw dew from heaven. Okay, well, that's the spirit. Well, what's the point of knowing that? What's the point of seeing dew of heaven, understanding that that's representing spirit, but you don't care who Amasa is captain with? Who's he captain for? It matters. It'll put the trumpet, dew of heaven, it'll put these things in better context when you understand who is with who. So remember, understanding allegorical.
If he replaced Joab, I'm sorry.
Nah, go ahead.
If he replaced Joab, he was the captain, though. If he replaced Joab, we know Joab was the captain over David's army, right? So he would be the captain over the army of the people.
No, right? Yeah, no, amazing. What I'm saying is, listen to what I'm saying. I'm asking who is Amasa captain over and nobody knows. So what I'm saying is, I don't like doing the guessing game. I'm not saying you're right or wrong. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying I need someone to show me in scripture who Amasa is captain of. I'm trying to find out why nobody is using scripture to show me this. I want the scripture. I want the verse that proves it. So if Amasa was made captain over Joab, then I still need the verse that proves that Joab was captain and who he was captain of, if you understand what I'm saying. It's an important question that I'm asking.
Can somebody, let me see. Anybody know off top where, let's say when Shimei came kicking dirt, and I don't know, wait a minute.
Let me say this. Let me say this, guys. I don't know what's so hard about this. Listen, I understand if you don't have a second device, but if you do, all you have to do is Google it. I don't understand what is so hard. I can do it right now, and within seconds, I'm going to have some verses that I could start reading. Okay, so all you have to do is Google who was Joab captain over what verse. It's going to give you a freaking verse right there. All you got to do is go to the Bible and confirm if that verse is right. If it says, oh, Joab was captain right here in this verse, and it says Pupapati 74, obviously that's not the Bible. It's not hard, okay? So this whole being scared of Googling Bible verses, I don't understand it. Like, it's like you don't have enough verses memorized. Do you think you're going to get into some witch book or something? If you know the Bible enough, you're going to know if this verse in Scripture is in the Bible. So if some of us are still at the point that we don't have some of the Bible enough, like you don't even have the Bible verses memorized, not verses, but I mean books. Guys, do yourself a favor. Go memorize the books in the Bible. At least, for God's sakes. That way, when you Google it and you see Joel the prophet, you're like, Joel, that's not in the Bible. I had somebody tell me that one time. It was years back. I said, it says right here in Joel, or Joel, however you want to pronounce it. And they're like, Joel, there ain't no Joel or Joel in the Bible. And I'm thinking, what? I'm like, bro, this person don't even know the book exists, for God's sakes. I'm like, God, and I'm telling you, this is the problem right here. Y'all are trying to like, well, I don't know. Well, use Google, for God's sake. You use it for everything else. Stop allowing people on TikTok to tell you, oh, these people are Googleologists looking up on Google. Oh my, what does it matter? Just freaking look up the verse. If it's right, you're gonna go to the verse and see if it's correct or not. I'm not telling you don't go to Google and just read it off Google. You go to Google, type in what you're looking for. I need a verse for this. Where's it at? Because you don't have the whole Bible memorized. And then you take your Bible and you look up the verse. You don't read it from Google. That's what I'm saying. Do not read it from Google. Just look at the verse and in your head scan, and it says, okay, well, that sounds right. Then you go to your Bible. Don't try to use Google to prove your point. You just use Google to find the verse, and then you look the verse up and then confirm if that's what it's referring to. If it is, then you bring it up. Jeez, every time I ask a question, it's like everybody's like, well, I don't know. God, dog, you don't know. Boy, I tell you what, if somebody's sick, you know how to Google every sickness in there. You be in there for 10 days killing yourself and worried over every symptom that Google tells you, but somebody brings up the Bible and you're like, well, we're not supposed to use Google for the Bible. Oh, killing me, man. All right. But now, obviously, the reason why I'm ranting, because I'm hoping somebody's using their head and Googling what we're asking for. Did y'all use that for time to do that or not?
Yeah, I
would that be in correlation? It would have to be the captain over. I don't want to say the Lord's host, but when David came and said, "Who is this Philistine that found the armies of the living God?" But in Second Samuel chapter 5, verse 6 through 10, that talks about when Joab became the captain of the host of Israel. I'll just say that.
Yeah. Okay. So first off, Joab 100% became captain. Does anybody remember what happened? How was Joab able to become captain? Does anybody remember that? Something.
Well, he had came up with a plan to
Right. Let me get this verse.
Yeah. So let me say this real quick. So Absalom rebelled against David. in 2 Samuel 15.
All right, hold on. Before we get to Absalom, I want someone. I'm going to keep doing this. What happened?
I got it.
You got what?
I got about Joab when he became.
All right, go.
Joab became. All right, so I'm in First Chronicles 11:6, and David said, "Whosoever smiteth the Jebusites first shall be chief and captain." So Joab, the son of Zeruiah, went first up and was chief.
All right, so we know Joab was captain of who? Who was he captain of?
David's army.
All right, David's army. Okay, Breezy, what were you going to say?
Yeah. So I was mistaken in saying Amasa was captain of David's army. Amasa was captain of Absalom's army. Absalom rebelled against David in 2 Samuel 15.
All right, so right now, let's go back to the verse where we're talking about Amasa. What verse are we on?
That's in 2 Samuel 20. Let me see. I think we were in.
Now, when you talk about David's army, are you talking about the 300, the mighty men, or the host of?
I'm just talking. I'm just talking about who's on whose side. That's it. I'm not being specific with battalion or what company they're from. I ain't doing none of that. I just want people to know who is on whose side. It matters. So, who is Amasa captain for? That's my question. Still stands. I ain't got an answer yet.
Amasa is captain of Absalom's army.
Okay, but remember, all right.
Against David.
Okay, that's why I'm asking, because if you're not understanding that Absalom has rebelled against David, you could automatically assume that Amasa is now captain of David's army. So here's my question. Where does it show us? Where's the book, chapter, and verse that shows us that Absalom rebelled against David's army? Where's it at?
In 2 Samuel 15.
All right, 15. So just read it.
That whole chapter.
Oh, well, but read a verse that is showing that.
Okay. So right here in verse 12 and 13, it says, and Absalom sent for Anthropel, the Gilonite, David's counselor from his city, even from Giel, when he had offered sacrifices, and the conspiracy was strong, for the people increased continually with Absalom. And there came a messenger to David, saying, the hearts of the men of Israel are after Absalom. David said unto all his servants that were with him at Jerusalem, arise, let us flee, for we shall not else escape from Absalom. Make speed to depart, lest he overtake us and suddenly bring evil upon us and smite the city with the edge of the sword.
All right, so David is finding out that Absalom, because Absalom is trying to take advantage of the people's hearts because they're with Absalom, he's trying to basically become king. That's what's happening, right? What?
I was giving grace to the verses that proves Absalom rebelled. You cut out right there for a minute. I don't know what happened.
Where is Amasa becoming captain at? What verse?
Let me see. In verse 17, in chapter 17, verse 25.
Amasa?
That's where he became captain, yeah. Of Absalom's army. It says, and Absalom made Amasa captain of the host instead of Joab, which Amasa was man's son.
Yeah. All right. So what took us there? Because we're in 2 Samuel 20.
We were in verse 4, and you asked who Amasa was.
All right.
We had to establish that.
Yeah, that's right. All right, so let me read 4 again. It says, Then said the king to Amasa, Assemble me, the men of Judah, within 3 days, and be thou here present. Okay, so it says, Then said the king to Amasa. Who is this king? Man, I don't think y'all understand the point I'm making.
Yeah, that's where we mistook. No, I do, because when we were going over this, we didn't even go back and look at all this.
That's what I'm saying. So we went over this. It's probably been about a year or so. But when we went over 2 Samuel, I remember for sure we might have started at 15. Let me see. We might have started at 15, and I know for a fact that we read through 20, 21, let's see. Yeah, it might have been 15 or 16. We started right there somewhere, and we read all the way to 20 or 21, and it was because you keep seeing these names popping up like sporadically, and you easily can get confused who's in charge of who or who's doing what. And I'm already seeing it again. So look, let's do this. Let's do this. I'm gonna go over 20. Like I'll just put out some pillars out there. But I always say this all the time, guys. The flower is yours. You understand? Like the intricate detail, the black letters on a white page. Y'all need to understand that. Y'all really do. I don't mind going over the flower, but at some point, you yourself, you have to understand the stories. You do. And there's just not enough of it in you yet. The story, I'm talking about the easiest part of the Bible. Okay, let me give you an example. And I'm going to use a Disney story so nobody's confused. Beauty and the Beast is real simple. You got this crazy dude named Gaston. And he wants to go marry the girl that reads books. He thinks it's silly, but he wants to marry her, whatever her name is. And then you got the Beast. And then at the end, or not at the end, but further down, you have the dad that gets captured by this beast because he's trespassing or whatever. And then the daughter goes looking for dad, and she's like, "Oh, please, let me stay." "Oh, you want to stay?" Puts her in there. Daddy goes and looks like a crazy psycho because he's explaining some beast got his daughter. So they laugh at him and think he's a nut job. Eventually, they find out, oh, wait a minute. So the beast is real. Okay, fine. Let's go unalive the beast. Bro, what I'm explaining is freaking black letters on a white page. At some point, you need to start telling yourself that if you don't understand the black letters in a white page, you need to stop trying to allegorically or parabolically understand further, because you're going to lead yourself astray because you don't even understand the story, which means you're going to put people in the wrong context and look like a crazy old person like this old man in this story over here. What I'm telling you is anytime you see me showing you parabolic or allegorical language, I'm doing that because the majority of the story is I still remember it. And if I forget who is who, I go back and remind myself. But you can't be playing this game that I'm going to go through the Bible and just, oh, I see the dew of heaven. I see soil here. And you don't even know who the heck the people are. That's not how Jesus wrote the story. The people's names matter. All the people's names, who they belong to, who they're serving. Is not the entire Bible servitude? It's showing you who's serving who, right? Huh?
Right.
Right. So to not pay attention to the mere story itself and think you're just going to be hopping around in these allegorical truths and this parabolic, you're going to start a cult somewhere. because you're going to be way off. You need to slow down. You need to slow down. These stories have to be understood. It's coming more and more that you're allowing your flesh to just jump into this allegorical, parabolical language without understanding the story or who the heck it's talking about. No, you can't do that. That's not what I do. I'm not sure why that's happening, but that's not what I do. What I do is I first understand the story, and then slowly you can allow the Spirit to show you what else is happening within the story itself. So let's do this. And I saw this when we started going over 20.
Got a question?
Yeah, what's up?
Oh, Jesus. Hey, who does it say who went and does it say who went and told King David what had happened? Does it say who said, who did it? The person?
Who did what?
Does it say who went and told what the world is going on with this truck? Lord Jesus. Does it say who went and told King David what Absalom had done?
We just read it. Let me go back. Let me see. Okay, so 2 Samuel 15. We'll start at 10. So 2 Samuel 15, verse 10, it says, "But Absalom sent spies throughout all the tribes of Israel, saying, As soon as ye hear the sound of the trumpet, then ye shall say, Absalom reigneth in Hebron. And with Absalom went 200 men out of Jerusalem." Hey, mute your mic real quick. Amazing.
I'm sorry. Yeah.
All right. So this is 11. "And with Absalom went 200 men out of Jerusalem that were called, and they went in their simplicity, and they knew not anything. And Absalom sent for Ahithophel and Gilonite, David's counselor." So Absalom sent for David's counselor. It says, "From the city, even from Gilah, while he offered sacrifices, and the conspiracy was strong, for the people increased continually with Absalom. And there came a messenger to David." So this is who told David. It's called a messenger right now. "And there came a messenger to David, saying, The hearts of the men of Israel are after Absalom. And David said unto all his servants that were with him at Jerusalem, Arise and let us flee, for we shall not else escape from Absalom. Make speed to depart, lest he overtake us suddenly and bring evil upon us and smite the city with the edge of the sword. And the king's servant said unto the king, Behold, thy servants are ready to do whatsoever my lord the king shall appoint. And the king went forth." Now, this is obviously talking about David. "And the king went forth, and all his household after him. And the king left 10 women, which were concubines, to keep the house. And the king went forth, and all the people after him, and tarried in a place that was far off. And all his servants passed, and beside him, and all the Cherethites, Pilathites, so all the Thites were there, okay, passed on before the king. Then said the king to the ites and the gites, Therefore, goest thou also with us? ? Return to thy place and abide with the king, for thou art a stranger and also an exile. So who's the stranger? It says right here, Then said the king to the Ittai and the Gittai, Wherefore goest thou also with us? So he tells the people of the Ittai and the Gittai that they're strangers, which should make sense that they can't go with them. But it says a messenger told David. Okay, so look, let's do this. Let's do this. Guys, because look, the reason why I ask who's Amasa, the reason I ask is because it's not because I don't know who Amasa is. I know who he is. Okay. But I'm going to push back. I'm going to push a little harder when y'all don't know who Amasa is, who is Joab. Like, and then you're like, well, it's the guy over here. But it's important is what I'm saying. It's real important. Very important, actually, to see why you see Joab and Amasa kind of seems like they're hopping around. It's important. It is the pinnacle part of the Bible is to understand who is on whose side at all times. And from there, you can go to the next phase, but you can't just start skipping around because you're so candy hungry. You want to dig up more treasure and eat all the honey in the ground, and you don't even know who's on the land. Like I'm telling you, you're going to lead yourself. Your mind is, you're going to be way the heck over there somewhere, and I'm going to have to be pulling you back, and that's where arguments start. And you're like, no, man, because the soil and the seed I'm like, yeah, well, who's Amasa? Well, I mean, I don't know. What does that matter? But I got the soil and the seed. No, it matters. It plays a part in this whole thing. It plays a part. So you start getting sugar happy, right? You're going to be like a child attacking every tree that's got honeybees because you just want to eat the honey all day, right? So,
Can I answer your question in verse 4?
Well, what was my question?
You said who was the king?
All right, hold on. Let's go back to where we were. Hold on.
Who was the king?
All right, who was
the king?
Give me the chapter and verse, because I went all over the place.
2 Samuel, chapter 20, verse 4.
All right, hold on a second. Let me get there. 2 Samuel. Hold on. 2
I would say that was King David.
All right, verse 4.
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
All right, so it says, then said the king to Amasa, assemble me the man of Judah within 3 days. Okay, so remember, it sounds like in one part, Amasa is on Absalom's side, and then now over here he's with King David. So what was the first question I asked before we started any of this?
You said who was the king?
No. I said who is Amasa. That was the very first. I'm talking about the very first question I asked. There's a reason why I'm asking. So who is Amasa? Right. So right now in chapter 20. So right now, this is what I need to know. 2 Samuel chapter 20. Whose side is Amasa on? Verse 4.
Amasa is on Absalom's side.
Okay, so why is King David telling Amasa to do something then?
Because David doesn't know that Amasa is on Absalom's
Are you sure?
side.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Does anybody concur that? Can anybody concur that? I need someone to agree with you, though. Who's going to agree? Y'all too scared to agree? Y'all don't want to be wrong?
No, I agree with him.
Are you sure?
I agree with him.
Are you sure?
I am.
Because we're going to run with that. We're going to run with that. If we wrong, everybody wrong then.
I tell you what, I go with my man Breezy too. Because of what came after the fact, I would say yes.
All right, now somebody who's familiar with the story, you should understand why I'm asking this question. That's why I started this with that first question, who's Amasa? Because I remember when I first started studying the Bible, there's 100 times throughout the Bible where if you ain't paying close attention, you missed it. And that one thing is going to lead you way the heck over there. And you're like, oh, okay, my bad. Listen, first of all, it happens to everybody. Let me make myself real clear. It's happened to me a bunch of times. The first year that I really was digging, I was like, oh, that's talking about this. And I was like, wait a minute. And then you start getting into, there's other people that have the same names. And you're like, oh, wait, that's why Islam, they built a whole religion on wrong names, bro. They told me to my face. They told me to my face, bro, that Mary, talking about Moses's sister, Miriam, is the mother of Jesus. I said, what? Yeah. That was the mother of Jesus. I didn't even finish the conversation. I just said, oh, okay. Thank you for teaching me something new. Bye. What are you talking about, bro? What? Like, just because it's the same name And again, I'm talking about black letters on the white page. You know where you don't see this ruined? For instance, when it's talking about wisdom, you can't mess it up. But you can mess up Miriam, Mary, mother of Jesus, Mary and Martha. What's the other Mary? Mary what? Magdalene. Just because the name is Mary doesn't mean it's talking about the same Mary. But there's only one wisdom in the Bible. Now, there's two wisdoms, but I'm talking about God's wisdom. There's only one. There's only one. You can't get confused on who it's talking about because it constantly shows you her attributes. And again, because it's feminine, but it shows you who she is. Always. And she's never described any different. She's always described the same way. So once you know the character of wisdom, you can't fool the person that understands the character. But where you can go wrong is where you start misunderstanding the freaking black letters on a white page. If you start messing that up, well, then you got wisdom bouncing all around the wall. And it's because you are being lazy and you're over here. You want to eat all the honey in the bubble gum. You want to go drink all the milk from the cow's teat, the land flowing of milk and honey. You got honey and milk all over your face, but you don't even know who belongs to who anywhere. It's not going to do you any good.
That was my mistake. When that's over this. Let me say this. It can be anybody's mistake. There's not one person that's exempt. None. Nobody is exempt. Okay, from this. I'm just pulling you back. Whoever, telling you, don't be an immature child eating all the chocolate in one night. Okay, what does the Bible say about eating too much honey?
You vomit it.
Yeah, show me. Where does it say that at?
Proverbs 25.
Let's go there. Let's go there and read it real quick.
Right, verse 16. Proverbs 25, verse 16 says, "Hast thou found honey? Eat so much as is sufficient for thee, lest thou be filled therewith and vomit it."
Okay, you get it what it means now?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Okay. All right. So
I'm a living example.
Well, everybody is. Nobody's exempt. I'm using the word nobody. So in the Greek and Hebrew, the word I'm using, nobody, means nobody. Okay. So what I'm saying is you get so excited like a child in the house looking for all the, and I'm going to use Halloween because when I was little, it's not that we really celebrated it, but I knew I could get free candy. So I don't care what mask or what. I don't care if I got a baseball bat. I'd run out there, act like a baseball player, and they give me candy. I don't know what all the dead people were doing everywhere, but I knew I'd get candy. I mean, that probably wasn't wise to do, but I promise you, I'm going to eat all that candy that night. I put money on it. I could have went to Walmart and bought the whole bag of Snickers, but it wasn't as fun. I wanted to go play the game. And I stayed up all night playing Kung Fu on Nintendo. That's what I was doing. Eating candy, one piece at a time. Okay? But I'm doing it without, you're just immature, that's why candy is not good to give. Candy's not good to give to kids. It's not. I'm telling you, it's not good. I don't care how little they are. I'm saying, from 1 to, you probably shouldn't give candy to a kid until they're at least 10. I'm being completely honest. I know that it's hard to do because you want them to taste the milk and honey. I get it. But they're not mature enough. They're not mature enough. If they find out where that bag of candy is, not only is it gone, they're going to throw up. They're going to get sick. They don't know how to tell the flesh stop. They don't know how to do that. That's why certain things cannot be taught to a child because they're not going to know how to say no to it. That's why relations that belong to a married couple, if you understand what kind of relations I'm talking about, that's why a child is not supposed to engage in those relations. It's like candy to them. They do not know how to respect what that is. They don't understand. And even as an adult, all of us at some point could see that being misuse. Even as an adult, if you're not careful, you can misuse that. It's the same thing. It's if a person does not know how to tell the flesh no, if it doesn't know how to do that, then your flesh will run with it. They'll run with it. The flesh will look for the bag of candy, whatever that is. Again, as adults, we call it vices, right? Smoking, drinking. I've never done any of that. But you name anything else, well, maybe not anything else, but just about. I've done all kinds of stuff, all the stuff, unaliving people to the point it was a game. I'm just keeping it real. You can get caught in how you're not really focused on what it is that you're doing. You just got in the routine of doing it. And so the Bible ain't no different. It's no different. You still have flesh. You still got to read. The story still has to be understood. But you show a kid a candy room, and now none of the story, I don't care about the story. I just want to go find the candy. Well, yeah, obviously. But that's why discipleship is important. So you can be told, hey, you can't eat all the candy at once. Yeah, I can. You don't tell me. God rules. Well, apparently God's not in control right now. Remember, the jewels that are given to us, they're free. All we have to do is dig for it. Because he loves us, we'll be shown. But if you just bypass the stories, you're not wrong about the candy you're seeing, but you ain't putting it together right, because you're in your belly. You're in your belly. You're not putting if your mouth is like a blender, it's going to take all day. No kid is calmly opening each package and pushing it out and taping it one. Nobody's doing that. They're ripping it apart. There's wrappers all over the place. What'd you say? The word, yeah. Have you found honey? Only eat enough unless you vomit. Yeah, that's the verse we just got through. That's what we just got through reading right now. In real life, that verse is talking to physical people, 100%. All of us know honey is referring to candy in this world, okay? Honey, because it's sweet and it tastes good. So what did they used to do back in the day? They would take milk, they'd put honey in it, stir it up. That'd be the milkshake, if you don't know. If you don't know, guys, they didn't have milkshakes back then. So what did they do? They would take honey and put it in milk and stir it up. Sweet milk. It's no different than eating cereal, right? Like cornflakes. When you're done, that milk is sweet as heck. And if you say it's not delicious, well, either you ain't tried it, or maybe you need to slap yourself a few times and then tell me what that feels like. But the point is, all of us you can get caught up in life focusing on the milk and honey, right? Focusing on those jewels, those gems you got to go dig up. And your flesh is going to get lazy, and it's not going to want to focus on the black letters and white page. But the soul is the adult. Your flesh is the child. So you have to tell the child to shut up and calm down. We will get there. So, the black letters and white page is boring. Well, too bad. You have to understand what you're reading. If not, like I said, you're going to be another Jehovah's Witness group over there. You don't even know the Bible properly. You just know where all the quote-unquote gems are. That's not okay. Okay? So that's not what I do. I don't know where that learning is going to come from, but it ain't going to come from me. I don't do that. I understand both the black letters and the white page, and I understand that that's soil, and I got to dig up the gem. I got to dig it up. But you have to be patient. You have to be patient. And your flesh is not going to want to be patient. Again, it's not your flesh that can see the gem. No. Your flesh can't see the gem. But whenever we do see it, our flesh can have a, it can have a reaction to what you just found, and you're excited, and you're like, oh man, that's amazing. But our belly doesn't run us. Your belly is not in charge. Your belly is not your God. So when your belly goes, go find some more gems, and you're like, yes, Massa, and you bypass the black letters on a white page, then you still need to understand that you're in your belly. You're trying to feed your belly all the time. No, it'll come. The understanding will come. You can't force it. And I tell you, the more you get into like just chasing gems and you're not understanding the black letters on the white pages, you're not understanding that. I'm telling you, you're going to be the next. You're going to be in Waco. You're going to be the next Waco that gets attacked by the U.S. government because you just decided to push the black letters and on the white pages to the side. You can't do that. That's the other part that keeps everything in order. Very important. What'd you say? Yes, a massa. Oh man, Benny, boy, I tell you, he's like, hey, are we talking about a massa? All right, let's get to that. All right, so what time is it? 11. All right, I guess we can still go. Okay. All right, Breezy. So tell us about Amasa. Make sure we're right so we can move on.
All right now. So Amasa is king of or captain of Absalom's army. Absalom rebelled against David in 2 Samuel 15. And in 2 Samuel 18, Absalom was unalived. So now Joab, well, let's keep reading before I jump the gun.
Oh, hold on a second. What'd you say, Benny?
I'm glad you went over that, though.
Hold on. Yeah, no, I know. Hold on a second. Benny, what'd you say? I was enjoying the speak. Oh, I thought you were telling me to get back. Well, I mean, hey, I did talk about it long enough, so maybe the comment was needed. Go ahead. Go ahead,
Yeah,
Breezy.
I needed that. Actually, I'm glad you touched on that because when me and Benny and everybody else was going over this, I should have brought the question forward because I'm sitting here thinking, I'm like, who is captain of whose army? You know, all these questions was in my head, but I didn't think to, go back and,
Yeah, no,
so,
but
I'm glad you said that.
Yeah, but I'm speaking from experience, bro. Like I remember, like the first year or two where I'm like digging into this, like when the rod, like when I saw what the rod was, I was like, hold on a sec. I was stuck there, and again, that part was not the problem, but I was stuck there. I could not understand what it was I was seeing, how I was seeing, like it was very odd. Okay. But when I was 100% certain what that was, I was like, well, what the heck else is in here like that? Hey, it's very weird. It's a very weird thing. Again, weird to the flesh. Very weird. The type of language you start dealing with here. It's odd. So I was like, all right. And I didn't go like right away, like digging for other things. It's not really like that, but it didn't take long to where that's kind of all I was focused on, and then, within a couple of months of that, I was like, wait a minute, who's this dude right here? And I was like, well, like it just clicked, after a month or two or whatever, that you can't just go searching for all the honey. Like I just knew deep down that cannot be right. Like to just go through there and just hop around. I have to know who these people are. Why? Because all the people are even meshed together. All of them are. So it's all vital and very important. You cannot just go around, if you have your shovel, right? And I need to make some more have your shovel ready videos. Even Dre told me I need to make some more of those. But if you got your shovel and you run onto someone's property, I mean, don't you need to know who lives there? Like you just gonna run off. It's like, hey, what's up, man? I'm just here to dig. I'm calling the cops. Nah, but there's got to be treasure. You got soil back here. So, yeah, but that treasure's not going to be yours, bro. It's going to be mine. It's on my property. Get off my property. I'm just saying you can't go into the Bible with that kind of mindset. Like if you're just bypassing everybody you're reading about and it makes no sense. Like it no longer matters who they are. Y'all don't matter. What I'm saying is they 100% matter. So that's why I keep saying slow down. I'm not saying just slow down so you can see the gem. I'm saying slow down. You need to know who the heck's in the story. You need to know. Someone asks you, hey, who's this person? Dang, I don't remember. It's okay if you don't remember. Go back and remind yourself. I do it all the time. Somebody will be like, well, who's this guy? Matter of fact, let me give you one that I don't remember. I'll tell you what, I'm going to give you one right now. I need someone to help me with this. I was thinking about it yesterday or Day before. There is a guy in the Bible, and it makes me mad because I used to know his name like the back of my hand. There's a guy in the Bible. He volunteers for everything. And it's in the first 5 books, from what I remember. There is a guy. We're talking, he's on the band, he's on the football team, he's on the baseball team. He helps set up this. He helps do. The guy volunteers for everything, and I can't remember his name. Do anybody know who I'm talking about? Nobody knows. Well, I need y'all to go find out. Not right now, but that's everybody's homework before when we get off. I'm going to ask tomorrow, and hopefully I remember. Keith, what'd you say? When I first read the Bible, I tried to justify drinking because of Noah. Yep, that makes sense. I bet you did. So, what?
You said you can't remember his name?
Nope, I can't. Nope. So in order to,
okay.
So basically, what you got to do is, and I looked a little bit yesterday too, but there's a guy in the Bible, and I'm not going to say why I'm bringing his name up, but there's a guy in the Bible. If you pay real close attention to him, you notice that he's part of a lot of things. It seems like, for instance, I'll show you. Let's and I'm gonna make some of the things up because there's things I don't want to say because it's going to give away why I'm bringing them up. But just to make it simple, if Moses had a choir, he wants to be on the choir team. They need a harp player, I'll play the harp. They need someone to play the drums, oh, I'll do it. You need someone to help build the east side of the tent because so and so ain't here. Oh, he'll do it. This guy hopped around from position. He did a lot of things. You don't hear a lot about this guy. Let me make this very clear. There's no big story about this man. It's a very small thing, but his name is in a bunch of places. And there is a particular reason that I'm trying to find him, but it's been years since I spoke about this dude. So that's why it's kind of becoming foggy. But the point I'm making is there's going to be people over a period of time, they're going to be like, man, if so don't get upset at me. But he could be found in the begottens, okay? And if you don't know what the begottens are, that is when the Bible is like 5 pages long of so-and-so begat so-and-so. So-and-so begat so-and-so. So-and-so. It's just...
Hey, Chuck.
Yeah.
Is it Amaziah? Amaziah?
Why would you bring him up?
Amaziah.
Yeah, why would you bring him up?
I looked it up, did a little research. Just did research. Son of Zachariah.
I don't know. Is there a way you can turn down your reggae girlfriend from singing back there, whatever that's about? That's how you know. That's how you know Hulk.
TV, bro. TV.
All right. So why are you picking Amaziah?
I did research, bro.
No, I know, but you're not telling me why him. Why are you picking him?
He volunteered for a lot of stuff.
Okay, well, show me. Show me what he volunteered for.
It's a lot, dude. Let me read it.
All right. Where are you at in the Bible?
Second Chronicles.
Second Chronicles what?
Second Chronicles 17:16.
17:16. All right. Read it. You gonna read it or what? You want that reggae song to finish? That's fair. I get it. He got on pause. He's like, hold on, it's the last 30 seconds. All right. What you got?
Dude, I can't read, but you got me laughing, bro.
All right, somebody read it. Breezy, can you read it? 2 Chronicles 17:16.
I got you.
Yeah, Second Chronicles.
All right, Benny's got it.
Yeah,
Benny's got it. Go ahead.
Breezy.
Go ahead.
Okay.
Say, and next him was Amaziah, the son of Zikri, who willingly offered himself unto the Lord, and with him 200,000 mighty men of valor. And with his armed men with bow and shield 200,000. It just start going into the other men.
Yeah.
It was selfless.
Yeah, I know, but this guy that I'm talking about, bro, it shows you giving grace. Yeah, guys, I know it's lagging. Okay, I know.
All right, I'm gonna go with this one. I'm gonna go with one. I got one.
I try, bro.
That's all right. That's all right. Who you got, Nina?
All right. I got Bezaleel.
All right. Tell me about him.
The son of Uriah, and Exodus 31. And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, I have called by knowledge and in all manner of workmanship to devise cunning works, to work in gold and silver and brass, and in cutting of stones, to set them in carving of timber, to work all manner of workmanship. You want me to keep going?
Yeah.
And they make all that I have commanded thee, the tabernacle of the congregation, the ark of the testimony, and the mercy seat that is thereupon, and all the furniture in the tabernacle, and the table and his furniture, and pure candlestick with all his furniture, to minister to the priest thereof. To the priest's office, and the anointing oil, and the sweet incense, in the holy place, according to all I have commanded thee, shall they do.
Is that it? So basically,
and the Lord.
So basically, Bezaleel was good with his hands, with metals and wood, right, and fabrics. From what I remember, the person either sang or played an instrument as well. So don't say I found him unless you found this person doing some other things and singing, or some other things and plays an instrument. You understand? So please, guys, do me a favor. Don't say I found him and you can't prove that the guy sang or played an instrument. So the guy that I'm talking about, he either sang, played an instrument, or both, along with these other things. All right, so and also know, if you bring him up, I'm not going to tell you if that's him or not until everybody's done guessing. But I want everybody to find this person. Keith, I'll make it simple. It's not David. No, it's a person that's not very well known at all. Okay, I'll make it real simple. And I believe he's in the begattens. All right, so-and-so begat so-and-so. And then it comes to this name. There's a few people actually hidden in the begattens that are, if you want to have some fun, they're in there. And I want to say that guy's in there, but it's been a minute. What'd you say, Jabal? Hulk, did Jabal sing or play an instrument? Excuse me.
That was going to be my guess, Jubal. It says in Genesis 4, it says, and his brother's name was Jubal. He was the father of all such as handled the harp and organ. Because there was Jubal and Jubal.
All right, so he played the organ. Is that what you said?
And the harp, yeah.
Okay, he played the organ and the harp. Is that all he did?
Well, that's all it says about him.
All right.
That I found.
All right, so let me say it another way, since y'all ain't getting it. Look, in the Old Testament, it says, in order an animal to be clean, they have to do at least these two things, right? Cleven hoof and chew the cud. So don't just bring me something that chews the cud, but it don't have a cleven hoof, and don't bring me something that has a cleven hoof and it don't chew the cud. It's got to do both. So this guy didn't just play instruments. He did other things. And Nina brings up all the things, no instrument. Jennifer brings up instruments, no other things. They got to do both.
You didn't bring up the instrument till after I brought mine.
Okay, well maybe that part.
Nah, he did say it. He did say it.
No, he's
yeah, sis, he did.
Yeah, I want to.
All good.
All right, either way,
We all losing this.
Either way, the guy doesn't just play instruments. He does other things. Let's let's do this. It's 11:30, so we can still get back to. But I'm proving a point, guys. I'm proving a point that all of us at some time you're going to forget somebody or somebody's name or something, and you got to go back and remind yourself, because if not, you're going to put somebody's name there and it's going to mess up what you're studying because you're being too lazy to go back and find out. Okay, so
You gonna take my answer?
yeah, hold on a second.
I ain't got
hold
no
on,
verses.
hold on a second. Giving Grace said just like now. No, Giving Grace, not just like now. I didn't just forget the person's name right now. I forgot it the other day, so I'm using that example that when I forgot this person's name, and now I'm telling everybody help me find this dude. So now if you're saying just like now, like that. That's the whole point, right? The whole point is I'm trying to show that it could happen. So I went back and I was like, oh, crap. I can't even remember where the dude's at. So I was like, man. But I didn't have a whole lot of time to study, but I was meditating over something. And I didn't have time to go in there and look. I couldn't look for the dude. But it did make me upset because in my head, I'm like, wait a minute, man. Wait a minute. The guy, he did this. He did. And I don't want to say a couple of things that he did because it's going to make it too easy. Okay, but I still need y'all help on finding this dude. Let's go. 40K likes? Oh, that's not bad. No idea, though. Okay. All right, Benny, what's the answer? Or what you think?
All right, I don't got no verse, so I'm just give a name. Is that fair?
Well, not really.
I would say that's cheating.
Well, y'all go do the research.
All right, what's the name?
Asaph.
How do you spell it?
Asaph.
All right, Asaph. All right, somebody find Asaph and find it ASAP. You like that? All right, so let's see if Asaph is the one. Somebody look up Asaph, and if you have to, freaking Google it. Hurry up and get there. You ain't got to sit there and flip through the Bible, read the whole thing to find Asaph. Google Asaph. Where is Asaph in the Bible? It's going to give you a verse, and take your butt over there and find out if that's is Asaph really in the Bible or not. Golly, listen, if you catch yourself reading some sort of satanic book and you go, well, try told me to use Google. I don't know what in the world you were typing that got you into some satanic book. I don't know why you're so scared to use Google. Use it for everything else. Use it for the Bible, okay? It's okay. All right? But don't trust what Google gave you other than the verse. You just take the verse, go to your Bible, and you're like, okay, well, that is a verse, and then see if it's relevant to what we're talking about. All right, so where are we going?
That's your point.
First Chronicles 15:19.
All right, First Chronicles 15:19. Is that what you said?
Yes.
All right. Are you going to read it?
I'm trying to get there.
Okay.
Sorry.
Oh, you haven't even proofread it yet? Oh, man.
Well, I did, but I was using Bible Hub, and I like Blue Letter.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
I was switching.
Right. So let me answer Canelo. Christian, your name from here on out is Canelo, by the way. Trot said the first 5 books. No, that's not what I said. I said I believe that they're in the first 5 books. I think they might be there. And then shortly after that, First of all, I made it very clear that I don't know where this person is. I want to make that very clear. I said I don't recall where this person is in the Bible. And then I said, I think he's in the first 5 books. And very shortly after that, I said, also, he might be in the Begattins. I said that. Okay. I did say that too. Tell him I'm not Asian while you're at it. Nah, your skin's pretty white. Asian people got some white skin. I'm not convinced yet. I'm not convinced. I just didn't feel like arguing with you. I'm not sure if you're, but 100% your name is Canelo. Period. Whatever happened to Flip? I don't know. Has anybody heard from Flip in a minute? Anybody? It's ever since he got that new job. He got a new job and his hours have just been, he putting in that work. I know he was telling me there for a minute that he wanted to move to Texas. And I think what could have happened, because, Flip, he kind of a mama's boy. His wife got that whip on his butt. So she might have said, if you want to move, this is what we got. Hope said still might be AI. All right, well, I'll at least put that one out. All right, Hope. So I am 90. I'm still not 100, but I am 95% sure that Canelo is not AI. But I'm not convinced that he's married. He still might live in his mom's basement for all I know. But he's not. He's more than likely he's not AI. Whether he's Asian or not, questionable. But
Canelo is 5'9", bro.
We're not talking about the height. I'm not calling him Canelo because of the height. Height has nothing to do with it. All right, so let's go, man. Who's reading Asaph? Let's go. 1 Chronicles 15:19. Who's got it? Nobody? Oh, man.
I got it, but I'm proofreading, and I'm not seeing what they're. I see him somewhere else.
Well, the way it looks, it says that he sings in 1 Chronicles 15:19, and then in 1 Chronicles 16, I think it was verse 35, he said that he does some other things. So it's saying he does the singing in one verse, and it says he does other things.
Well, I guarantee you it don't just say. So what other things does he do?
He was appointed here.
See,
all I see is a music part.
All right. Well,
so in 1 Chronicles 15:19,
it says that Asaph was appointed to play with brass. What?
Yeah,
cymbals of brass.
He was appointed to sound with cymbals of brass.
Okay, he was appointed to play the cymbals. I'm just going to put that. All right, what else?
And it says he was a singer. It says, so the singers.
Oh, my God. Are you sure it says that, bro?
Yeah, right there it says, so the singers, Haman, Asaph, and Ethan were appointed to sound with cymbals of brass.
Yeah, he also was a seer, a prophet.
Okay, hold on. Was he a singer or not?
Yeah, he was. He wrote songs.
All right, he was a singer, and he played the cymbals, right?
Yeah.
All right, what else?
JH for JC. JH for JC got it all. He's a worship leader and the leader of the Levites in the temple as far as the music, teacher of the law, songwriter, and he was a seer, a prophetic.
All right, so here's my question. Here's my question about this dude.
And a poet.
Here's the question about this dude. Does it say anything about this dude volunteering to do this? Does it use the word volunteer? Like, does it say that this position was needed and he volunteered to do it? Does it show that?
See, appointed.
I'm asking does it show that he volunteered? All right, Benny, run him through me again. So he was a prophet. What else? A law teacher.
Yeah, and the leader of the music.
So he was the worship. He was the worship leader.
Yeah. He was the one that he would go before the ark with the, you know what I'm saying, with the ark and play the music.
So he was, okay, are you saying he was a worship leader and the person before the ark, or are you putting those two together? Benny?
It's two separate things.
All right, so he was a worship leader and appointed to go before the ark?
Yep. And play the music.
All right, what else? Anything else?
He was a seer.
But that's a prophet. That's a prophet, though. Yeah. What else? If y'all think I missed something.
He's a Levite, so he probably did sacrifices.
No, I don't want to probably. I want to talk about what it tells us he does. That's it. Just what it tells us. See if you can find somebody. See if you can find him somewhere else. All you got to do is look up his name. Asaph. Is that how you say
I got all the. He pops up 41 verses. So
are you sure it's the same? Are you sure? Are you hold on? Are you sure it's the same guy?
Yeah.
All right. What else does he do?
So what is keeper of the king's forest?
What is what?
That's Nehemiah.
Hold on. Yeah, no, never mind.
Right.
You're right. There's two Asaphs.
Yeah, it's three of them, but I'm talking about the son of Berechiah.
There you go. Guys, it's always about the son of. Try to find who the dad was or something so you can make sure that you're talking about the same person.
So that's in Chronicles and
Is that it? Taylor said
I think we covered everything. I can't find nothing else.
There are 5 guys with that name. Yeah, there's more than one, obviously. All right. So, well, it didn't take y'all long. So that's him. Okay, y'all found him.
Yeah,
we did as a team.
All right. Okay. So let's look up this word appointed. It said he was appointed to play the cymbals. Somebody look up that word right there. We're going to look at this. What does that word appointed mean?
It wasn't in the original manuscripts. It was added.
It was added. All right. So then, what is it?
Yeah.
Then how does it read? Then
It says, so the singers, Herman, Asaph, and Ethan, with cymbals of brass to sound.
Oh yeah, let me look at it real quick. There's something else
that's in First Chronicles chapter 15, verse 19, where I'm reading from.
15:19, yeah. All right. Let me read 18. All right, so it says, and with them their brethren of the second degree, Zechariah, Ben, and starts naming all these people, blah, 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 blah. So the singers, Herman, Asaph, and Ethan were appointed, and it's italicized, so yeah. But it says to sound, so it goes, okay, let me just read it the way it's supposed to be read. So the singers, Heman, Asaph, Ethan, to sound the cymbals of brass. So we don't have to use the word appointed. But what we can say is it was them that did this act right here. Cymbals of brass, correct? That's what we could say. You should know that that's what it's pointing to.
Yeah.
Yeah, so let me go to all right, so this is the cymbals of brass. All right, and where else does it say that he did something? Because this is the point that I'm making. So all these things we know about the guy. It says he was a prophet, law teacher, worship leader. I want every verse that proves that this is what this man did. This is and now we'll get to the point that I'm making. Utilizing this man right here.
Hey, what is it? So look at this in First Chronicles 6:39. It says, and his brother Asaph, who stood on his right hand. But just to get context, it's talking about
Talking about chapter 6.
Yeah.
All right, so let's go.
Right hand.
All right, so I'm gonna write all the jobs
So
down. I'm gonna write.
At Heman's.
Go ahead.
No, I was just saying he stood at Heman's right hand. It says that Heman, a singer.
All right, let's do
was
this.
appointed
Hey,
and
let's
also
do this real quick. Hey, let's do this real quick. The three men that were mentioned in Chronicles. Let's go look up their three names. So what's the first one? Excuse me.
Heman.
How do you spell it? Heman?
Yeah.
All right. What does that name mean?
Faithful.
All right. So faithful. All right. What's the other name?
Asaph means
Asaph.
gatherer.
Okay. Asaph, gatherer, and the last one. Ethan.
Ethan means enduring.
Enduring. All right. So faithful, gatherer, enduring. So these three men in Chronicles are named because they're doing something together. obviously. All right. So let's go back to Asaph. I want to go back to him real quick. And I want to do this. So let me go to Asaph. All right. And I'm going to put down all the, so he was a singer. So Asaph he was a singer. And I need the verse for that he was a singer. Symbols. I need a verse.
First Chronicles 15:19.
What is that?
It says, so the singers, Heman, Asaph, and Ethan, were appointed to sound with cymbals of brass.
Yeah, so First Chronicles 15:1, right? Or 15 what? 19?
19.
All right. So where does it say he played the cymbals? That's the same thing? Yeah.
Same thing.
All right.
Yeah.
So, all right. Well, I need the verse to these other things. So we got a prophet or a seer. Where does it say he was a prophet? Where does it say that he was a worship leader? Where does it say he's going to go before the ark?
Yeah, right here, First Chronicles 16:4. It says, and he appointed certain of the Levites
16,
to minister
hold on,
before
16.
the ark of the Lord.
Hold on, 16 what?
Minister before the ark of the Lord, and to record, and to thank and praise the Lord God of Israel. Asaph the chief, and next to him Zechariah.
No. I just want to read about Asaph. So this is where he goes before the ark. 16:4.
At the end of all those names, it says, and with harp.
And with harp. Okay. So we're going to put harp.
And then it says, but Asaph, hold on, maybe not, but Asaph made a sound with cymbals.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
For some reason, though, I feel like I do remember him playing the harp. Maybe not. All right. So that's before the ark.
Yeah.
So at the ark in 1 Chronicle 16:37, it says, so he left there before the ark of the covenant of the Lord, Asaph and his brethren, to minister before the ark continually, as every day's work required.
Okay, so they didn't just go before the ark; they were ministers, right?
Right.
And that's First Chronicles what?
Chapter 16, verse 37.
All right. So where does it say he's a worship leader?
I thought we already gave you that. The leader of the
Well, let's read it because I don't feel like I got the answer for that. So where does it say he's a worship leader? I need someone to read it.
Gotta go back and find it.
Okay, so I'm looking for it telling us that he's a worship leader, and I'm looking for it telling us that he's a law teacher.
Is it saying that he's a priest saying he's a law teacher?
No, that's the answer that they gave us. JH and Benny were saying something about law teacher, so I'm asking where the verse is, Or if you feel like I missed one, what am I missing? So let me tell you what I got. That he's a minister, a singer, he plays the cymbals, he's a prophet, and he goes before the ark. So far we got 1, 2, 3, 4.
Seer?
That's prophet. Might as well say. Unless, does it separate it? Does it separate? Does it say seer, comma, prophet?
No, you're right. I found that. I found the prophet. If we didn't get that verse,
Yeah.
So Asaph is called the chief. He's the chief
Chief of what?
of the music. That's what.
Okay.
So right here it says, "And the chief."
Okay, yeah. If he's a chief of the music, he's a worship
So it
leader.
says.
So what's the address? What's the address to that?
So watch this. That's the one I gave you, 16:4. So it's this. David appointed certain Levites to minister before the ark and to record and to praise the Lord of Israel.
Hold on a second. And to record?
Yeah.
So he's a scribe.
yeah,
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So he's a scribe too. All right. And that is 1 Chronicles 16:4, right?
Yep.
man, this dude is everything.
Okay. Yeah. We'll get to the point here in a minute. All right. So he's a scribe. All right. So read through that slow and let's not miss any of his jobs. Do it again. Benny, read it again.
Yeah, and that's David. David appointed certain of the Levites to minister before the ark of the Lord and to record and to thank and praise
All right.
the Lord God of Israel.
All right, so that right there is not the chief of the music, but he said that he's also one that was chosen to do what? To thank and praise the Lord. So we could say to give thanks.
Yep. Pretty much worship.
Yeah, pretty much worship. We can keep it as worship leader. All right, is there anything in there that I'm missing or no? Or are you not done reading?
Well, you just got to. The reason why we said leader because it says Asaph, the chief. Now it starts going off into the names.
Yeah.
Of these people he chose. Asaph, the chief. And if you look in like the Psalms, it always says Asaph, chief musician.
Yeah.
Chief this.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's still worship leader, chief leader. Yeah. Same thing.
Yeah.
All right. What else we got? So look, we got minister, singer, plays the cymbals, prophet, worship leader. He's one that goes before the ark. He's a scribe. And I wrote down law teacher. Somebody said law teacher. Where's that at? JH is saying, somebody is saying Nehemiah 12, 45 through 46. We got to make sure that's the same guy, though.
I think that's, hold on.
Yeah, it says, I'll just start at verse 45. And both the singers and the porters kept the ward of their God and the ward of the purification, according to the commandment of David and of Solomon his son. For in the days of David and Asaph of old, there were chief of the singers and songs of praise and thanksgiving unto God. And all Israel in the days of Zerubbabel and in the days of Nehemiah gave the portions of the singers and the porters every day his portion, and they sanctify holy things unto the Levites. And the Levites sanctified them, the children of Aaron. I read every verse he mentioned.
Okay. It was to David and him being chief. Oh, referencing him being chief. Okay. All right. So is that all we got? So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We got 8. I see 8 things. Got a minister, singer, plays the cymbals, a prophet, a worship leader. Now, my thing is, you got, okay, no, hold on. I wrote down law teacher because someone said that. Where JH, was it you or Benny? One of y'all said law teacher. Or were y'all
Well, he was
referring?
a scribe.
Okay, so he's not a law teacher now.
So, well, I'm saying that's you can call it a law teacher. If
No,
he's
I know,
scribing, he's teaching.
I know, but we gotta only put what it says that he's doing. You understand?
Okay.
We can say I can give you 10 what do you call it? Bullet points for each. Yeah, bullet points are I can give 10 for each one, but I only want to write down what it actually is saying that he's doing. So we know that a scribe is they're writing it down, but it doesn't. This man, Asaph is his name, which means gatherer. What does that mean? What does that mean? Gatherer. What is that? What does that word mean?
He's a reaper.
As well, it's a gatherer, and we know that all these people's names are pointing to a spiritual truth. That's what it's pointing to. So Heman, however you say his name, He-Man, he was faithful, and you got Ethan, which is enduring. The Bible says that God is faithful, and it talks about us needing to endure to the end. And then Asaph, it's so funny that his name is Gatherer. So funny that that's his name, Gatherer. And he does everything. This man's all over the place. So he was a very well-known Levite. So let me ask you, why would he be pointed out like this, that this dude, if a Levite could do it, he would do it? Does anybody know why this one man single-handedly did a whole bunch of stuff? And it's a saying that goes around today. There's a saying that goes around today, and it's been true.
That's what it's supposed to be?
Huh? What?
What, idle hands is the devil's play toys? I don't know.
Oh, because he was a jack of all trades, or a jack of many trades, but a master.
Yeah, you could say all those. You could say jack of all trades. You could say what Benny just said. All those things. But what does it say?
Was a disciple.
The man was a disciple. 100%, dude. The man was a disciple, right? And that's the point that I'm bringing up. This dude right here. This right here is a disciple, bro. That means that if you have, he didn't see anything wrong. This dude went before the ark. You understand? He was one of the ones that went before the ark, dude. They trusted this man to be a scribe, bro. He wrote stuff down. Don't you think that that's an important job? Have you not seen how tedious being a scribe was? It's so tedious. Bro, they would get down to the end of whatever they're writing on. If they messed up, they would have to tear up the entire whatever. According to Bill, it's papaya leaves, right? But they would have to tear up that whole thing. There was no eraser. And of course, they could show us ways that after they would write down, there's a way to kind of like, a way to erase, like they'd cut the little thing off, but they stopped doing that because it looked like it was being tampered with. So they couldn't use something if they would mess up and like cut the little fabric thing out, or they couldn't do that because it would be tampered. That means 20 years down the road, it would look like someone did it. It had to remain, so they couldn't mess up. Very tedious. Do you think someone that was a scribe felt like, well, I don't want to play the cymbals, I'm a scribe? But this man, basically, he cleaned the toilets too, if you understand what I'm trying to say. There was no job too small, too big for this dude right here, whose name happens to mean gatherer, bro. The dude was all over the place. It didn't matter. Whatever needed to be done, he did it. And if you don't think this man volunteered, it doesn't have to say it. That's why I said, does this say anywhere that he volunteered? No. Let me tell you this. This man was not forced to do these things. If you force someone to do job, his name doesn't make it in the book. If anything, he complained. But I'm telling you right now, understanding the Bible, this man didn't complain. He did his job very well. You ever heard the phrase, and it's not always true, but a lot of times it is. He said, a plumber that is real good at his job, it's funny that his house always got plumbing problems. But he's a good plumber. Usually now the truth behind that is it's because he does so much work, he don't have the time to do his own house because he's got to pay bills. That's usually the truth behind it. It's not saying that the man's lazy. The man's clearly not lazy. He just don't have the money to even work at his own house. He's doing so much work everywhere else. That's usually the truth behind it. But I'm bringing up Asaph, number one, because it didn't matter if it was a little job or a big one. The dude was involved in everything. He didn't have a problem. He wasn't just a singer. He played the cymbals. He was a minister. He was a prophet, a worship leader. He went before the ark. He was one of those guys that went before, and he was a scribe. That right there is an ingredient to make a disciple. A disciple can make a disciple. He can start you from the ground level of the soil, help you plant the seed, show you how to water it, show you how to gather from it. He can show you all of it. So, don't be a convert. Be a disciple, like Asaph, like he was, right? So this is what we're going to do. I'm going to give y'all time to go study 2 Samuel 20 and 21 if you haven't. Because when we start talking about it tomorrow, I'm going to ask, who's this dude or who's that guy? And if nobody knows, then basically that means everybody just coming over here so I can just read the Bible to you. You can read the Bible yourself. Okay, now that doesn't mean I'm not going to, because I've done it plenty. Thing before we hop off, it could be a question about the Bible that maybe don't take long to talk about something. Anybody? And what I'm going to do is I'm going to title, today's title is going to be Asaph, a true disciple. I'm just going to do that because I wouldn't planning on talking about the dude at all, but we did.
Jordan said down in the comments, how long did you study soul sleep?
Who's he talking to? Who's he talking to?
You, I think.
How long did I study soul sleep? I don't know. I didn't study the topic soul sleep. That's not what I studied. I studied the Bible. So how long did I study it? 12 to 15 hours a day for 5 years. That's how long I studied it. I don't study titles. That's not how you learn. Don't make that mistake. I've been saying that for a long time. That's why I don't start with the title and then study. That's how you stay a convert. If you want to be a convert, then go study title. I don't study title. I study the Bible. I know what the Bible says. Did you hear my answer, Jordan? I need to see a yes right there. Does nobody understand my answer? He don't understand. Does anybody here understand my answer? Or no?
No, I think everybody understands your answer. You're not
Jordan don't, because he says, yeah, but how long would you guess you meditated? I just told you.
Yeah, but when you saw the rod and you started thinking on it and you meditated on the rod, it's like, oh my God, there's a rod here, there's a rod here, there's a rod. Like you meditated on it. He's asking, like, when you started thinking about the soul sleep or like that whole like going back
but I didn't meditate.
God,
but I didn't.
How long did you?
Yeah, but I didn't meditate just on the rod. It was every story connected to it. So I didn't just go find all the rods. I do that with y'all so you can see it. But every story that had the rod, I meditated over the whole thing. I didn't make everything else irrelevant. So my topic for the day in my head was rod. I'm going to go study all the rods. That's not what I did. I studied the entire Bible, the whole thing. There was no topics. That's what I'm saying. Okay, so if you know I don't study topics, then how in the world can I individually give you an answer like that? Like I studied the whole thing, bro. The whole Bible. It was always the entire Bible. It was never topics. So, matter of fact, I've explained this before. That means Jordan thinks.
I think that's where we started off this morning, right?
No,
we started off talking about that a little bit.
Jordan, the only reason why you would ask how long have I meditated on it is because one or two things is happening. You think you came to an understanding that maybe I missed, or you've heard other people talk about it, and they said maybe they meditated on it for 50,000 hours. So you're like, well, I need to know. It's a very carnal question is what I'm saying. Very carnal. How many hours did you study over soul sleep? It's a very carnal question. I studied over the entire Bible 12 to 15 hours a day in soul sleep. Matter of fact, before I say that, let me just do this real quick. You know what? I might have it right here.
I must have been asleep when y'all was talking about it, because what was the conclusion? What does it mean?
To what?
Soul sleep.
We were not talking about it.
Oh, okay.
For some reason, there's a collective few in Descaled that are freaking chopping at the bit about soul sleep. You're driving me crazy with this study. It keeps coming up.
Yeah.
So I don't know if y'all are listening to some witch, or I don't know where the heck why does this keep coming up? I don't understand. Jordan, why do you keep talking about soul sleep, bro? To be honest, are you going to a warlock, like some warlocks study group every night, and they where's this coming from? Where's this coming from, bro? You had a dream
Bro,
about.
I'll tell you. No, I'll tell you. We were talking about. We were trying to explain to Jay White that when you die, it's like you sleep. It's like a twinkling of an eye, and when you wake up, it's like the rapture. So it's kind of like what they would call soul sleep, even though it's not soul sleep. And she was saying that that's not true, that when you die, you go directly to heaven and you're walking around streets of gold. So that was like the conversation that we were having last Friday. That's why he's asking you about it.
Yeah, but this was brought up. This was brought up a month ago. So are you telling me? So basically, are y'all telling me that y'all are trying to convince somebody? See, this is the issue. You can't convince people of stuff. We've talked about this already, and I know I have more than once. And so basically, y'all don't have enough ammunition to convince somebody. So you're trying to figure out a better tactic to convince. That's the issue. You tell them what it is. You go over there's some scriptures that you can use to talk about it. Oh man. But you're not going to be able to stop trying to convince people, for God's sakes. That's the issue. Your flesh is the issue. If you want me to get down to the nitty gritty, your flesh is the issue. You're in your head. You're like, well, I got this figured out. So because I got to figure it out, you need to see this. No, you're the problem, whoever you are. Nobody needs to see nothing. They'll get there. Just drop it and go to something else, for God's sakes. Quit bringing this up every week. That's the problem. You're acting like the Trinity and Oneness argumentative groups. That's all they talk about. They freaking lose their mind over this stuff. And that's like, Jordan, that's like you and Bill. You never would leave Bill alone. You know, he has a certain view on Trinity, and because he don't view it exactly the same, you don't think you're doing it, but you're attacking, bro. You need to tell your flesh to shut up already. Stop attacking what people think. Listen, remember, what did Paul say? I lay the foundation. That's what he said. And if anybody lay something on this foundation, it will get burned by the Spirit, meaning it's going to get tried. So if you have an understanding on something and someone else doesn't agree, who gives a crap? Move on. Stop harping on this. It's how you're going to be pushing people out of your life, burning your bridges. They're not going to want to be around you because you keep harping on it. I don't care if it's their fault or not. Like, again, if Bill could be texting you, you're an idiot, this is true. And you're like, oh, you know what? Whatever. I don't care whose fault it is. The point I'm saying, there has to be a point where that the person is telling you either I don't agree, you're dumb, you're get out of my face, you moron. I don't care what they say. The idea is not to go back and say, I need more ammunition. Bro, you're no different at this point. You're going to be no different than these people that get on TikTok every day and argue about Trinity and oneness. They've been doing it for years. That's all they talk about because they haven't got to a point where, it's just that's all they talk about, bro. And there's nothing wrong with the topic itself. But if that's all you're talking about, I'm telling you, you are in error. Period. You are in error. There is so much of the Bible that needs to be understood. There's so many people that are looking for the entirety of the truth, not one topic. They're looking for the entirety. You're not setting people free because you got someone to either understand oneness or Trinity. You're not setting them free. Period. You're not. No, you need to minister the gospel. The gospel has nothing to do with Trinity or oneness. It'll have nothing to do with that. You're wasting soul sleep. Look.
Hey, what's the pre-workout you use, bro? I need to get that.
It's called Trot. Got to get some of that.
Yeah,
some
right.
Of that trotness. It says Trot. It's got a big horse on it, a big white horse.
Some of that pre-workout, bro.
It's got a big white horse on there. Jesus is on it, and it says Trot with the white horse of Jesus. What it says. And it's white, by the way.
So Trot.
What?
What would you consider the deep sleep, where God puts Adam into a deep sleep so that he could perform the operation of bringing forth Eve? You also he put the deep sleep on Abraham, right? And the Genesis 15, you know what I'm talking about. So would that be considered soul sleep or just a deep sleep? Like, so what it would be like?
Yeah. So the question is the word soul sleep in the Bible? That's the question.
Well, I'm not saying soul sleep, but I'm put to sleep.
No, I'm not saying that to you. I'm saying, can anyone answer my question? Is the word soul sleep in the Bible?
It's not in the Bible.
Right.
It's a reference to it in Revelation, though.
Well, again, I'm just saying. So you got the word Trinity, okay? And the Bible shows us that God is triune. He shows us. So does that mean that God is like, there's not the word tri, right? Bicycle, 2 wheels, tricycle, 3 wheels. So the word Trinity is not in the Bible, but we don't have to act dumb and act like we don't know why people say the word Trinity. That's another thing. Let's not act stupid either. I know why Catholics say the word Trinity, because the ones that use that word were educated. They understood what the word bi and tri meant. So they said Trinity, talking about Father, Son, Holy Spirit, that word. So when people say, well, the word Trinity is not in the Bible, oh my God. I don't even agree with the doctrine of the Trinity. God is triune, though. That is true. But I don't agree with the doctrine that they have. But I'm at least smart enough to say I understand why they say Trinity. So to play the game and say, well, the Bible don't say Trinity, so therefore that's not what I'm using, because the word Trinity is not in the Bible. But I'm not stupid, and I'm not going to lie and play games with them and act like I don't even know why they're using the word. No, I know why. because of the word tri. That's why they're using the word Trinity, because that word tri is talking about three, just like a bicycle has two wheels and a tricycle has three wheels. It doesn't have to say the word Trinity. So, the point I'm making is I'm not trying to say that because it doesn't have the word soul sleep is real. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that I don't feel like everybody is, I don't feel like there's a lot of people that are reading the Bible enough to even know what they're even talking about when they themselves say soul sleep. So, it's just, I've talked about this quite a few times already. And, maybe one day, maybe we need to go through there a little bit more, it seems like. And we'll just make sure Jay White's not here, because I'm not trying to make anyone believe anything. You're a grown adult. You go believe whatever the heck you want for all I care, okay? And I'm talking to everybody. Y'all can believe whatever y'all want, but there's nothing wrong going over the Bible, and what the Bible says. But, if Jay White brings up soul sleep to one of y'all again, why don't y'all do her a favor and yourself and change the freaking subject? I don't know how this is still a thing. This happened like last month, and if I'm wrong, my bad, but I could have swear this was like a month ago, and it was the first time I heard it. I don't know how many times y'all talked about it before, but I didn't mind discussing it because it was the first time that I remember it actually being brought up in that way. How did this become about me? No, it became about you because not that it's all about you, but Dre told me y'all are having the discussion again, and I feel, and I could be wrong, Jay, but I feel like like maybe people are trying to like force you to believe a certain way. That's what it seems like. I could be wrong. So, and they can say that's not what they're doing, but I think they already understood your stance. So if they already understood your stance, when I see Dre, it's on site. Oh no, yeah. I'm just saying, none of y'all are gonna have me at your front door trying to get you to believe something. I'm not gonna keep coming around because I know there's something you don't agree. You ain't gonna see that. It ain't gonna happen. Everybody can believe whatever they want, and everybody will get there wherever that is at their own time, right? Seed time and harvest. You can't go to soil and scream at it and say, give me fruit. That's not how it works. Talking about other people's heart. You can't go to other people's conscience and say, and scream at them and try to get them to try to get the ground to force out fruit. I've never seen a ground do that. And it's not going to happen today. I promise. Today's not going to be the day that you're going to get someone to force a certain fruit to come out of their ground. It's just not going to happen. All right. So, what is so important about this topic anyway? It's driving me crazy. When I studied the Bible, the whole sleep thing, I did not see it as a very important topic. I'm going to be completely honest. I think it's a very, very simple, I don't know. It seems real simple to me. Maybe somebody here was taught something wrong and y'all got this sleep. Well, y'all can't get it out of your head. I don't know what it is that's causing this to keep coming up. I don't know, at night that you're having dreams of, I don't know. I don't know. I have no idea, but it's driving me crazy, to be honest. But if there's something that y'all can put together to show me like what it is, maybe it's you that's missing something and I can help clear it up. I don't know, but I can tell you through all my studies, boy, that topic was never serious in my head ever. And I studied it a lot. So, I don't know. I want to say that what's probably happening is you're fighting either for it or against it to keep a certain doctrine that you personally have. That's the only time I see people get real ugly. And when I say ugly, I'm talking about they can't let it go. So I'm starting to think that the reason that soul sleep keeps coming up is because there's something about the Bible that you already believe, and you're either fighting to keep it, or you notice someone believes something about the Bible and you're trying to destroy what they believe because it's messing up other areas. It's one or the other. What that is, I don't know, because I don't talk to y'all about that topic every 30 minutes. Seems like y'all talk about it every week, which is crazy, but whatever.
I believe it may have something to do with like demonism. When it comes to talking about souls, case in point, Saul being brought back from Sheol.
Hold on, let me say this quick. Jay, are you serious? Or we're just trying to understand each other. Let me say this, Jay. If it's been over a month and you're gonna sit here and tell me y'all don't understand each other yet, it ain't never gonna happen. It ain't never gonna happen. Listen, these lives that go together and they let every swine in their live, everybody's in there. That's where the confusion's coming from. Those kind of lives right there. It ain't never gonna happen. You're never gonna understand. It's never gonna happen, ever. I don't know where this ideology is coming. Like if I go sit with this person long, and let me tell you what's gonna happen. Eventually, one of y'all is gonna pick up some bad habits. That's what the Bible says. The Bible does not say hang out with everybody so you can understand one another. That ain't what it says. One bit. Paul the Apostle did not go to Ephesus so he can sit with them swine down there and understand one another. No, he went over there to talk to them about Jesus. And guess what? They bent the knee. In Ephesus, the whole area used to worship the god Diana, and they all bent the knee to Christ. You understand? He didn't go over there to understand everybody. That comes from Satan. That's a lie to understand there. No. I love all y'all to death, but that ain't it. You either teaching someone about Jesus or they're teaching you about their Jesus. Okay? Period. It's never going to get anywhere. Love all y'all to death, but I'm sitting there telling you the Bible does not teach that. Don't let me stress you. Oh, you ain't stressing me. You're good. Shoot, trust me. Trust me. I'm being myself. I'm like this every day. Whether I'm in the, and you can ask Dre this, whether I'm having the worst time of my life or the best, I don't change. I'm this person right here. Let's say we did it way before you came in. What'd y'all do before?
Stressed you out, bro. Stressed you out.
No, man, y'all don't.
I done messed up the black letters, and now ain't nobody getting no honey today.
No, man.
Exactly.
No, man. Shoot. I've been here all day. Oh man, y'all hold on a second. Y'all fooling yourself to believe that y'all got me stressed out? Oh my Lord, y'all.
We picked the wrong word.
Yeah.
We got you. We let you down this morning.
Thank you. Okay. Now that's more true. Y'all definitely let me down.
See that heat I'm gonna take now, Masterpiece? You see the heat for taking accountability?
Yeah. Now y'all definitely let me down, but stressed out, ain't nobody. Matter of fact, I don't think there. Let me see. I can't name anybody that can claim and tell the truth and stand in court and say I've seen him stressed out. Never. I can't think of. You can. My wife's known me for years. My cousin. There ain't one person you can bring up here and say, "Oh, I've seen him stressed out." Not a one, my friend. Nope. There was only one time in my life. Now, maybe when I was 10, maybe I didn't get my Ninja Turtle toy. I might have felt stressed out. But I'm saying as an adult, the only time I have ever felt stressed out, ever in my life, was in war. That's the only time. So if you think what you're seeing is stressed out, nah, I'm being me. It's just me every day. Same person. All right. What's homework? What'd you say, Mike? What's homework? Did we?
Samuel 15, chapter 15, all the way to 21.
Oh, yeah. Thank you, bro.
Everybody read that whole.
Yeah. Listen, if you can't read it, I get it. I understand. But if you can, guys, listen. Why don't you do what some of my buddies do, man? Sometimes they're just tired from work. Hey, they turn on that Bible app and they just let it read to them while they're in the shower. You understand? Listen, don't stress yourself out reading the Bible 12 to 15. Listen, if you can read the Bible 12 to 15 hours a day without eating, you're not a person that stresses out easy. I'm telling you, you're not. Okay, so, and for 5 years, we're talking about no days off, 5 years. 90% of the people in here, they'd be bald-headed about time they're done with that, probably after the first 6 months. I don't get stressed out easy at all, not even a little bit, okay? Now, hey, other people have figured out how to deal other things in their life, right? Other things, but I've figured that part out. I know how not to do that. Let me see. Yeah, so... yeah, guys, I'm telling you, the Bible app, you can get it to read the Bible to you. You know, you get stressed out because you're like, well, after I get out of the shower, I got to eat, bro. Hit play while you're in the shower. Take a shower. Take the phone with you. Go heat up your food. Go make your food while it's reading it. You don't have to sit there and waste time reading it. You can just let it play while you're doing other things, while you're doing laundry, while you're chopping your timber outside, while you're training people how to shoot. Whatever you're doing in life, meditate on the word. You don't have to have your eyes on paper, okay? You can listen. You can listen to it, okay? Unless you're deaf, you know, then... What'd you say? 24,000 hours. Let's see. Oh. Let's see. Oh, you're talking about hours studying. Well, yeah, it's probably 20 or 25,000 hours, but that's just those 5 years. You know, now, you know, it's been 12 years, or actually it's been maybe 10 years, 10 years after those 5. So we're talking, I mean, I'm saying if you're being technical there, it's 20 hours in those 5 years. What about the past 10 that I've still been studying? Yeah, okay, yeah, just for those 5 years. Yeah, you know, but I don't know. TikTok anywhere between 2 to 4 hours a day, 5 days a week. I mean, you know, again, I'm just saying on TikTok, but I don't know. It might be at freaking 40,000 hours now. I mean, I'm just saying, bro. Like, again, bro, people are going to put their time into what they want to do. It's simple. It's simple. It's not hard. You know, I just love it. So, yeah, no, random guy. I know what you're doing. Yeah, no, but yeah, no, I know exactly what you're saying. So yeah, 20 to 25,000 hours. You can say that. Now, a random guy, I'll give you some more math. Let's say someone tells you that they've been studying the Bible for 20 years. I want to see the number you come up with. Tell me when you're ready, random guy. I'm gonna give you some numbers. I'm gonna give you some numbers. Let me know when you're ready. Just give me a thumbs up or put okay or go ahead, or I don't even know if you're still here. Hi. Okay, that's fine. All right. So let's say somebody's been reading the Bible for 20 years. Let's say they read the Bible every Wednesday for an hour and every Sunday for an hour. That's how. So, but yet they tell you they've been reading the Bible for 20 years, but they read the Bible 1 hour on Wednesday, 1 hour on Sunday. So that's 2 hours a week. So tell me, in 20 years, 2 hours a week, how many hours? How many hours have they read the Bible in 20 years? What number you come up with? The math is quite simple, but 2,240. Okay, now I want you to look at that number. The point is it's 2,000 hours, approximately. All right, and you know what? I'll even give them 3,000. So now you got someone that says, I've been reading the Bible for 20 years. But they actually been reading the Bible for 3,000 hours. 3,000. And this person will argue. If you tell them, let's say if I told them I've been reading the Bible 5 years and I didn't tell them how many hours a day, but I've been reading the Bible 5 years, they will mock me and say, well, I've been reading it for 20. You start asking them questions, they don't know how to respond to nothing. But they've been reading the Bible for 20 years. So let's just say it didn't take me long to realize that just because someone says they've been reading the Bible for 20 yeah. No, we're talking about all of it. Meditating, what I've learned, to what I've come to find out, reading, and if someone's done reading it and they're meditating over it, you start doing the math, what they're claiming, how much time and effort they're claiming they put in the Bible, it's not true, is what I'm saying. That's a majority of Christians today. They're converts. They're not disciples. And when you show them this number, they take their age and they just lie. They lie and say, oh, well, I have 70,000 out. Well, you know how you'll know if they have that much time? They'll know what you're talking about. Period. I'm sorry. They'll know what you're talking about. There's too many Christians I've come across. They'll say, oh, well, I've read the Bible 80,000 hours. And I ask them very basic questions. The proof would be in the pudding. You would know what I'm talking about. So to say a number, oh, all this time, oh, well, I'm talking and I can't learn nothing from you. Or I'm talking about the Bible and you have no idea what I'm saying. So what I'm saying is a disciple knows when someone is in the word like they're claiming. They know. So the hours, I don't know, maybe I am lagging, Dre, to be honest with you. It's very possible.
Hey, Dre, you ain't got no current events before we hop off?
Oh, yeah. Dre, what you got, bro?
Yeah. Did you guys know, I'm going to cheat off of Nina. She sent me a great article. I got to fact check it still more deeper, but it's very important. Apparently, Donald Trump has made the southern border of the United States a military zone, meaning that if anybody tries to cross the border, now it is considered sort of like an act of war, and the military can act anywhere they need to in order to protect the borders. That is better than a wall, in my opinion, because that actually puts precedence where it needs to be at. And apparently we even have submarines in that area in the Gulf of America and on the outside of Mexico on the Pacific. Apparently we have airplanes, Black Hawks, and even submarines that are protecting the area, trying to keep drugs and illegal immigrants from coming into the border. So that is actually really, really, really good in my opinion. So some people have criticized him and say that he's going to start a war, but I don't think that that's going to start a war. I think that's just going to deter people from entering into our country.
No, well, I'm gonna say it. No, the Democrats that opened the border for the past 4 years, they started the war, and Trump is stopping it. So here we go again with he's going to start a war. Y'all already started a war, bro. These people, these morons, the Democratic Party. So listen, if you're a Democrat, I'm not talking about you. I'm saying you've been fooled. I'm talking about the party. You understand? The people that have been voted on to be in Washington. These goofballs over here, 100%. It's been proven already. So when I brought it up, and even Dre was like, what? No, bro, that's impossible. That's why I said what I said. When I remember saying this, I remember saying, is it possible? Like, if you were to fast track someone to get a Social Security, how long will it take? Well, we already know. It takes several months, 5 months, some of them 4, some of them 8. In less than a year, there are over 3 million immigrants from other countries. They just let them walk in here. They didn't have to go to meetings or nothing. They just gave them a Social Security number. And the Democratic Party was doing this, hoping that all those people that they gave these Social Security numbers to, they're hoping they were going to vote for them. And let me tell you something. If you don't think that's corrupt, then my friend, you yourself are corrupt. Period. I'm sorry. You are corrupt if you don't think that doing that is corruption. It is. 100% is corruption. And you're trying to make it look like the only reason that you're giving these Social Security numbers because you're nice. No. If you believe that, then I believe you're a liar. I don't believe you think it's nice. I believe that you're just saying that because you don't want it to look bad. You're a liar. I don't care who you are. Nothing personal. But it's corruption at its finest. You're telling me 3 million people in 4 years got Social Security numbers, and every year they grew like, I think, 200 to 500,000. Every year they were given more and more. That border was 100% open, and they kept lying. There's so much footage we have that they kept lying and saying, the border's not open. The border's not. What are you talking about, bro? People in New York and Chicago, they know the border was open. See, they thought that if they leave the border open, that Texas would have to handle it. And Texas took all these people and started flying them around the world. You know why? To show people around the world that the Democrats were lying. You lied. You said the border. If the border's not open, how are they all in New York and Chicago living in these very expensive hotels? If the border's not open, how are they there? And not only that, with taxpayer money, how all the taxpayers are always complaining about inflation. Taxpayers are complaining about everything, not just regular inflation. Prices on everything was skyrocketing. And then Trump's been in there 90 days. He's been in there 3 months. And the Democrats, I'm talking about the ones in the White House, Washington, they were able to fool people to believe it's Trump's fault. He wasn't even in office 90 days, and that's his fault? Man, wake up, dude. Wake up. So right now it's been proven. You can go look this up. It's all open records. And I'll tell you from the beginning, I'm not quick to agree with anybody unless I can at least see a lot of it as proof. It's already been proven, bro. So this whole time that you've been lied to, Trump bad, bro, come on. It all happened. It's all out now. There's no more nothing. They were trying to steal the election. And for anyone to laugh at that, it's sad that you would laugh at that. And usually it's because you're embarrassed that you voted for. I don't know why you're embarrassed. You should be mad that you've been lied to all these years. Don't be embarrassed that you voted for. It's not your fault. It's not your fault, man. What do you say?
Well, I will say this, just to I'm probably lagging. I don't know, but I will say this: what Trot is saying is absolutely correct, and you guys know very well that I am of Venezuelan descent. That's where I was born, and I had cousins that were coming over to this country that I wouldn't even accept in my own house, and these are my blood because I knew what kind of people they were, and they were coming over the border and coming to Chicago, going through Texas, getting sent to Chicago, and then they would reach out to me like, "Hey, cuz, I'm in Chicago." I was like, "Well, good luck." That's all I would say. Well, good luck. Don't come over here because I'm going to report you myself because I know what prison you were in. So I'm telling you that is not a lie. A lot of people came, a lot of good people came in, but more bad people came in. And the reality is, even if good people came in, they came in the wrong way. And it's still illegal, no matter how you put it, unfortunately.
Yeah. Let me see. Planting seed, 2 wings, same corporate vultures. Yeah, what's your point? Yes, that's true. But the point I am making right now is that, when we say same corporation, well, calling President Trump all these names like he's racist and all that, and people trying to unalive him, that ain't got nothing to do with what you're saying. No offense to anything you're saying. I think it's elementary to say that they're the same corporation, of course. But he said he was going to find corruption, and he did. So to say, well, it's the same not necessarily. Man saying Western have one of three.
Comment.
Hold on a second. Western 1 3 kids.
The comment that he said.
Hold on a second, okay. Breezy. Hold on a second. Western have 1 to 3 kids. They have 5 to 10. The majority. Yeah. Again. Planting seed. I'm not really understanding your point of view here, bro. I live in Texas. I know what's happening here. So, bro, there's nothing you can do. The Bible tells us the end of what's going to happen. So nobody should be confused that there's like this idea of this great takeover. Come on, it's in the Bible. It's all in the Bible, man. This is nothing new, nothing scary. You're supposed to be scared of this. What were you going to say, Breezy?
No, you just touched on it. As a matter of fact, I think he's referring to those areas, quote unquote, where they're buying land and building, these synagogues or whatever.
Yeah, but that don't got nothing
you
to.
just touched
Yeah,
on
but
it.
that don't got nothing to do with illegals, bro. There's a lot of Islamic believers that come here legally, and they're still doing it. That ain't got nothing to do with that. Yeah, I don't know why he's bringing that up, or she, or whoever. Yeah. So yeah, if you haven't heard about like what's like transpired in the past, like, I don't know, 5 days or something, you need to just go look at it. Just go look at it. You will drool in your sleep how ridiculous things have been popping up left and right, what's been happening. But like I always say, man, hey, one day at a time, one lie being revealed, one after the other. Obviously, that's still the government. I mean, that's elementary, duh. No, my God. Good. Okay, so planting seed, let's not focus on that. Like, we already know that the Bible tells us that these things are going to happen. So when we see it, I don't focus on what the Bible is already telling us that's going to happen. We already know that's going to happen. What I'm trying to focus on is some of the things that I don't know, and it's not involved in politics. I already knew all that stuff, but I never spoke on it because I didn't have any proof. So if I usually don't have proof, I try not to say anything. But I knew that Trump was going to go in there and do some things that are good, and he's already done some. So for him, and if anybody heard about him trying to force the prices down as far as in the medical field, we'll see what happens. I mean, he says so far he's done everything he said he was going to do. And I just think it's funny how all the lies that was said, they're all being debunked one at a time. So I just think it's hilarious. I'm not really sure what that was. Something was there, but all right, guys. Hey, we're done. So please go read 2 Samuel 15 through 21 if you can. Just let the Bible app read it to you if you have to. Because tomorrow I'm going to have some questions, and if y'all are still lost, then maybe we should start Esther. But we'll get there. We'll get there. Okay. All right. Anybody got anything? We're out. Anybody? Amazing. You got something, Hulk?
Yeah, what was the verdict?
On what?
Soul sleep.
What do you mean, what's the verdict?
I hit you offline.
All right, hold on. Are you coming in and out, bro? Like, you keep are you sleeping, or are you at work or at school? Because we came to a conclusion of where we were.
Plenty.
I am in and out. Man.
Okay.
My wife came home for lunch. I'm sorry.
All right. No, it's all good. All right.
I'm actually just trying to be funny anyway.
Oh, okay.
Y'all have a good day, man.
Nah, we are. We having a great time. Shoot, I ain't doing no trip.
Hey, I came up to pray us out in prayer.
Uh-oh. Oh, man. All right. Well, do it in Hebrew.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam. God bless y'all. May the Lord bless you and keep you.
Shalom alaikum.
Shalom alaikum.
Amen.
All right, guys. All right, we'll see y'all in the morning. God bless. Oh.